We are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining. We got a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot happening all over the internets, social media, mainstream media, everywhere. There's a whole lot going on. Not really sure where to begin. Have you guys seen the Texas lawsuit? That's going crazy right now. A lot of states have joined in. I'm not sure how many states have joined. I'm gonna look into it, but there's quite a few states that have joined on the team. And the lawsuit is about the election. You know, they're talking about what was that? Vote by mail, spread exponentially, and there's quite a few things happening. Matter of fact, I think it's 17 states now. So fantastic. We'll talk about that on the show. Also, ironically enough, YouTube says that you can't talk about the election as far as any kind of improprieties with the results. You can't talk about specific things. I got to find that particular blog from YouTube talking about that. And they say if you do talk about it, your content could be removed and you might even get a strike on your channel. Now, if you are in the know, like I'm in the know, once you get a strike on your channel, that can affect you negatively. Like you're talking about demonetization, your channel could be removed. There's all kind of things that can happen when you start to get strikes. I think it's on a 3-strike in your route system. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the woke Santa Claus. We'll talk about Jemele Hill, Cynthia Johnson, the drunk lady in Michigan, and all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. I couldn't do it without you. If you enjoy the content, if you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, give me a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. I don't know what I got to do. Do I got to do a backflip? Do I got to solve racial injustice? I don't know what I got to do. Go ahead and subscribe right now and click the bell so you get notified whenever I go live and/or post a new video. Also, if you're listening to me on your favorite audio streaming platform, thank you. And if you want to hear this on your favorite audio streaming platform, you can just search me on there, ABL Live. I should pop right on up. There's also a link for that in the description box below. You can check it out there and we can go about it that way. Alrighty. So we got a whole lot of things happening at once. And let's talk about the, hold on. Matter of fact, let me make sure that I got my ducks in a row here. I'm gonna look up this YouTube blog. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys a YouTube blog first. I'm gonna just read that just verbatim, straight from what's this? Blog.youtube. Straight from their website. This is not even me making nothing up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about, just so you understand what's happening. If anybody says, you know, they're talking about censorship and guys getting strikes and channels removed, this is why. And then we'll talk about the Texas lawsuit and a few more things. Jemele Hill and the crazy question talking about, was it racist to knock Nate Robinson out from asking Jake Paul, was it racist to knock Nate Robinson out because Jake Paul is white and Nate Robinson is black, talking about she's joking. What kind of a joke is that? You know, that's like saying, hey, man, do you like to shoot people, like to kill people? And I said, nah, man, I'm not even into that. And then they ask you again. It's like, okay, where's the joke at? Why is this being used as some kind of comedic, device? I don't really understand. But anyway, let's get to this particular article here. And again, I'm on YouTube's blog site. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit, see if I can. Okay. I'm gonna get to the most important part. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So here's the beginning of it. Supporting the 2020 U.S. election. Again, this is the official YouTube blog. I'm right here by the YouTube team. December the 9th. That's today. All right. Right now, as I'm speaking. And it reads up under that. Updates to our work supporting the integrity of the 2020 U.S. election. So here's a question for you. If they're talking about removing videos that violate their policy because they're pushing certain narratives about the election, then why is it okay for them to try and support the integrity of the election? Because on both sides, they're trying to support the integrity of the election. Yes, one side says there was a funny business going on and we're trying to get to the bottom of it, and they're saying no, it wasn't. But both sides are trying to fight for the integrity of the election. They have different routes to get there, but one route is okay and the other route is not. That's kind of what I'm getting so far from what I know, and just from that particular piece right there. Okay, now let me see. Our main goal going into election season was to make sure we're connecting with people with authoritative information while also limiting the reach of misinformation and removing harmful content. The work here is ongoing and we wanted to provide an update. Now, what that means, in my humble opinion, is that certain things that are out there, certain content that's out there that they don't like, they want to remove, or they want to kind of downrank it intentionally. That's what Facebook does as well. They want to reduce your reach. That happened to me because of my hydroxychloroquine article on Facebook. They killed my page because, of the content that I had that they didn't agree with. So a bunch of doctors who were saying that certain things work, certain therapeutics work, that wasn't, to their liking. But other things, maybe that big pharma wants to push, is okay. But I digress. Let me see. Now, here's the meat and potatoes. Removing content that violates our policies. So if you're watching one of my videos, you're enjoying it or you're sharing it, and then all of a sudden it's gone, this could be why. Now, I'm generally not even an offender of any kind of policies. I have clean videos. I source everything. I don't do too much guesswork. If it's my opinion, I'll say so. But generally, I always have sources for whatever I say. So I'm not sure that I will be affected, but I could be, because the nature of YouTube is that it's what's the best word? It's kind of iffy, and you really don't know where you stand until you until you happen to cross it just by happenstance. But anyway, it reads, our community guidelines prohibit spam, scams, or other manipulated media, coordinated influence operations, and any content that seeks to incite violence. Since September, we've terminated over 8,000 channels and thousands of harmful and misleading election-related videos for violating our existing policies. Over 77% of those removed videos were taken down before they had 100 views. So I guess it's some kind of algorithm that kicks in right away, like an automated type of thing. And then when you get an automated takedown, where's your recourse to really fight against it if you are a small channel? I'm not really sure. It continues. We also work to make sure that the line between what is removed and what is allowed is drawn in the right place. Our policies prohibit misleading viewers about where and how to vote. That's fine. If you're just putting out fake stuff saying, okay, you could vote over there when you can't vote over there, I understand that. That makes sense. But it continues. We also disallow content alleging widespread fraud or errors change the outcome of an historical U.S. presidential election. Now, we got to pause right there. That's where I got a problem. Okay, now, why can't I have that opinion? It's one thing to tell somebody, hey, go vote over there when you can't vote over there. That's trying to disenfranchise somebody. But if I say, hey, here's my opinion about the election, why can't I say that? And there's people that have come out that have said the same thing. Whistleblowers, signed affidavits. You got lawsuits out in court right now. So even if I don't say that's what it is, why can't I talk about the court cases that are actually happening right now with evidence, with proof, with affidavits, with witnesses? Okay. So can I not speak about what's actually happening in the court? I'm kind of confused. So I'm going to talk about what's happening in the court. So if my video gets removed, then I know what time it is. You can't even speak about actual news that's happening aside from your personal opinion about a situation. You're not making an allegation one way or the other. All you're doing is speaking about the news that's happening right now, actual things that are going on, real information that's available to the public. But it continues. However, in some cases, that has meant allowing controversial views on the outcome or process of counting votes of a current election as election officials have worked to finalize counts. Yesterday, which was the 8th, Tuesday of December, yesterday was the safe harbor deadline for the U.S. presidential election, and enough states have certified their election results to determine the president-elect. Speaking about Creepy Sleepy Joe. Given that, we will start speaking about YouTube now. If you're just now coming in, this is from YouTube's official blog. Given that, we will start removing any piece of content uploaded today or anytime after that misleads people by alleging that widespread fraud or errors change the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election in line with our approach towards historical U.S. presidential elections. For example, we will remove videos claiming that a presidential candidate won the election due to widespread software glitches or counting errors. So this is hilarious. This is a lot of legal speak broken down into a more easily digestible version for regular humans. You understand? Because they could just say, if you say that Biden only won because it was fraud, if you say something like that, then you get knocked off. That's what they want to say, but they're not going to say his name. They're just going to say any presidential candidate. Who else fits that right now other than Joe Biden? I mean, come on. But anyway, we will begin enforcing this policy today and will ramp up in the weeks to come. So meaning after the election, then they're going to do more and more. Okay, after Trump is out of office, if he leaves is the key word, if he leaves, then they're going to ramp it up because they feel like there won't be the obstruction coming from the top. That's, in my humble opinion, what's going on. As always, news coverage and commentary on these issues can remain on our site if there's sufficient education, documentary, scientific, or artistic context. So we'll see. And here's something interesting right here. It says most viewed U.S. election-related content, top channels, ABC, NBC, USA Today, CNN, CBS. All liberal stuff. Now, you mean to tell me Fox News isn't up there at all? No Fox, no independent sources, nobody? I mean, really? So that right there tells you that, these things are being artificially pushed towards the top by YouTube.com. That's pretty much how that goes. There's no way that those channels have a really big reach organically. Who's going to go to CBS.com for the news, really? I mean, you go to YouTube for independent opinion, not for the same thing you see on mainstream media, all right? Cord cutters are not going to go back to the cord through online, really. You might go to some channels for the most part, but that's not really how it goes. If you're watching YouTube, you want to see independent people. They're pushing the mainstream media on the left towards the top and not so much for any other place. All right. No RSBN. Nah. No RSBN, no Fox, no Newsmax, no OAN, no independent people, nobody. You got some really big channels out there that get crazy engagement. I mean, CBS, NBC, nobody's engaging with these channels because they're not really YouTube channels. They're just kind of like archive places for their television content. It's not really a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel, in my opinion, is more interactive with their audience. They can connect with people. They can talk with people. These channels from the mainstream media are just media dumps. It's just putting out videos. They're not doing any kind of interaction at all. The most you might get is Shep Smith on MS13 DNC talking about, hey, did you enjoy that video? Subscribe for a few more. That's what you might get at the very end, an automated message. It'd be a video about a hurricane or something crazy like that. It'd be somebody on the scene getting blown around, hailstones on their hair. It's a whole big mess. It's flooding. The remote truck is flooding. But then you'll have Shep Smith come on in a nice, comfy studio talking about subscribe for more. Stupid stuff. They don't interact with their audience. It's not really a real YouTube channel, but they want to have us believe that it is. It's bogus. But hey, it is what it is. I'm not really too broken up about it. But I do know that what they're pushing to the top is not what most people on the YouTubes want. They want more organic content, more relatable content. All right. So like I said, if any of my videos happens to bite the dust, you know why. It's not me. You got to blame YouTube.com. Now, speaking of election results and things of that nature, I'm going to speak about this and see if I get X'd out. Now, they cut my stream. You already know what time it is. This is an actual story, though, straight from CNBC. They're talking about NBC, CNBC, CBS are reputable news sources. Okay, I'm going to read this straight from CNBC. Straight from there. So if they cancel me, then I know it's not even about authoritative sources. It's about trying to cancel smaller voices that have more of an impact than the mainstream media who they want to push. Okay, they want the mainstream media spin on a particular news story to be the only thing that's out there, rather than to have my particular point of view. Ain't gonna be no war. I saw that on Twitter. People said, civil war is coming. Ain't gonna be no war. It's gotta be two sides fighting, and you gotta be able to let go of the Xbox and the snacks and all that kind of good stuff. It ain't gonna happen, in my opinion. That's just where I'm at with it. All right, and I also don't think that we're gonna be taking over in the way that they want. So I don't see either one happening. All right, let me see. But here it is from CNBC. 17 states tell Supreme Court they support Texas bid to reverse Biden win. Now, is it to reverse the Biden win or to get the appropriate outcome, win, lose, or draw? You see what I'm saying? Now, here's some of the key points. 17 states told the Supreme Court that they can support an effort by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to sue to effectively reverse President-elect Joe Biden's projected win in the Electoral College. The filing came a day after Paxton asked the Supreme Court for permission to sue Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin over their election results, which Biden won in all instances. President Donald Trump filed a motion to intervene in the case. In his personal capacity as presidential candidate, Trump defeated Biden in a popular vote of the state supporting Paxton's bid. Now, let's continue down here. All right, so 17 states whose elections were won by President Donald Trump told the Supreme Court they could support. Okay, now, what states do we have? Let me see. The states supporting this suit, all of which have Republican attorneys general, are Missouri, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, and West Virginia. All right, so shout out to West Virginia, my birthplace. Shout out to Canal County and all that good stuff. And shout out to Tennessee, where I'm at right now. Shout out to East Tennessee for doing the right thing and joining in with the cause. All right, we'll see how the whole thing goes. Now, I think Paxton's main beef was that those states that he sued on behalf, well, the states that Texas sued through him, basically, they had expanded the vote by mail thing. I think that was the main thing. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me see if they tell you what was going on in this particular article. Okay. Now, the Supreme Court may take it. They may not take it. We'll see what's going on. People don't really like it too much on the other side of the course. They don't like it. They want it just to be over with. One thing I see a lot on social media and the news in general, people say that, Biden's the president, move on. So what? We don't care about whatever you got going on. And to me, that's kind of a way to like squash hope and also to try and convince themselves. Because I think that they know on their side that this could go the opposite direction. That's what I think, that they know in their heart. It could go the opposite direction. And if that were to happen, then I think that would be very damaging to a lot of people. So I don't believe they really want that to be the case. They want everything to just kind of just keep going forward in what they would consider to be a normal way. But I don't know. You got 17 states that are in a lawsuit, and this could be serious. Now, I think the objective is to get it to the Supreme Court and have them rule on it before the electors meet. I think that's December the 14th or the 15th. So time's a wasting. Okay, it's already December the 9th. So time's a wasting. I think that'd be sometime next week, of course. Or what day? What was that, the Monday or Tuesday of next week? So they're trying to get this done right away. You're going to see some movement one way or the other within the next, 4 or 5 days maybe. So we can only just wait and see. And then I think on January the 7th, there's another date coming up. I'm not exactly sure what that date is specifically. If you guys know, let me know in the comments below. But on January 7th, that's going to be yet another day. And we'll see what goes on that particular day. But I think the Supreme Court case, you'll hear about that within a week, one way or the other, where they could rule on it themselves and make a decision about the election, or it can go back to the states. They could say, you know what, this is not for us. We don't want to hear this. We don't want to try this or whatever. We don't want to hear this case. So it could go back down to the lower court. If it goes to the low court, it probably would get beat on the low court. So I think the main thing here is the Supreme Court. But Trump said it right after the election because he saw what was going on. He's like, okay, I guess we got to go to court. He's filed like 50 lawsuits. Well, not Trump himself. I think his legal team and or those that are working on his behalf, it's like 50 lawsuits. A lot of them have got, I think most of them got dismissed. I think there's still some that are pending. But that's kind of how these things operate. When you go back and forth, you're being kind of litigious, you're filing lawsuits. That's just kind of how it is. You might get some thrown out and not seen or whatever, but all it takes is one. You might file 100 lawsuits, but if one goes through and you get some traction, that's all it takes. So we'll see what the results are going to be of that coming up here within the week. And I think in January, there'll be another date we got to meet, and we'll see what happens there. So like I said, 17 states, they're in on it. And again, what are the 17 states? Let me just go back and see where I'm at with it. So you got Missouri, Arkansas, Alabama, Louisiana, South Dakota, North Dakota, Florida, Oklahoma, Indiana, South Carolina, Kansas, Tennessee, Texas, Mississippi, Utah, Montana, and West Virginia. So I'm with it. Let's go ahead and get on to it. All righty. But what else we got going on? Somebody said something I want to talk about right there. So January 7th is what now? Congress certifies the elector's results. I got you. Okay. Thank you, JSLY. All right. So what else we got going on? I wanted to say something that was going on. Oh, did you guys hear about Eric Swalwell? I didn't even put that in the topics on the title, but did you guys hear about Eric Swalwell? Now, Eric Swalwell was trying to become the president, wasn't he? He was in the debates early on in the Democratic Party. He was trying to become the president. He didn't have a chance, really. I thought he might have a chance. I thought I saw a little something. He was kind of young dude, kind of energetic, young in relative terms to, people that are like Joe Biden or somebody 1,000 years old, but anybody. Anyway, Eric Swalwell got caught up with a Chinese spy. A young lady back in 2015. This is before he actually got into Congress. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not really sure what Eric Swalwell was doing at a particular point in time, but he got caught up with a Chinese spy, a young lady, Christine Fang or Fong, aka Fong Fong, straight from China. I'm talking about like double agent type stuff. I heard that she had a dual citizenship of China and the U.S. I have no idea how that happened, aside from the fact that she's a spy and China allowed it to happen. That should have been the red flag right there. Dual citizenship with China and U.S. Anyway, so she's a dual citizen and was a actual spy and was fundraising for Eric Swalwell. Now, they said she didn't get any sensitive information, but how do we know that? How do we know what Eric Swalwell told her? Maybe Eric Swalwell at that point did not have information to send her or to give her, but how did we know he didn't? If you're in that kind of environment, how do we know that you're not being, that you're not being bled dry for all your information and you are releasing some important information? I've heard this story before about Chinese spies, and of course it's a woman. Like, nothing against women, obviously. I'm just saying a lot of these dudes in government, even some guys in the military, unfortunately, they fall for stuff like this. There was a guy in the military who fell for a Chinese spy, talking about something, he's in love, all this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, she's a whole spy, sending everything back to China, to Xi Jinping and the PRC. Oh, it was a whole big mess. Like, I think it was like kind of dangerous. I forgot exactly what happened. But yeah, that guy, I think he got locked up for that. For, revealing information to this lady, that was a spy. And I think at a certain point, he might have known what was going on. But hey, he's in love. He don't really care. He'll tell everything. And Eric Swalwell got caught up in it. And talking about something, it was in 2015 and shit and it got out, all this, that, and the third. Well, I seem to remember that, Donald Trump Jr. had a meeting with a Russian lady about nothing. It might have been some diapers or some kids' clothes or something silly like that. It wasn't anything, but the meeting happened at Trump Tower, and then that was a big talking point from the mainstream media for months, if not years. Oh, Trump Jr., he's compromised, all this, that, and the third over a meeting about nothing. Meanwhile, you got a whole Chinese spy interfering with a guy, raising money for him, possibly getting state secrets, sending it back to China. As far as I know, Trump Jr. never ran for any kind of public office. never been in office before. So why does the whole thing with the Russian lady even matter? Oh, because he's Trump's son, Donald Trump's son. The whole thing was just crazy and a disproportionate. It was an inappropriate response to what was going on. But with Eric Swalwell, we got to throw it under the rug. The story was in 2015 and it's just now coming out. How did it stay under wraps for that long? And my question would be this: how is he on the intelligence committee? How are you there, sir? How are you getting duped and swindled? I guess it's swooped, swindled, and duped by a Chinese spy, and you're on intelligence committee. You're not that intelligent to get had like that. It got so serious that the FBI had to intervene with the situation and let them know what was going on. Now, I don't know if Fong Fong was his girlfriend or what, but a lot of these spies, they'll use their physical stuff to get what they want. You understand what I'm saying? They don't mind, quote unquote, becoming your girlfriend and get some information from you. They won't just be around, and it's not like the old days, what you would see in movies where they wire a room, and that happens too. Like, especially if you over there, they wire a hotel room. That happens, but that's not even really the end of it. They'll get into your private personal space, and the pillow talking will kill you more than the wire in the hotel room. If you're in a hotel room or something like that, you're kind of on guard maybe. You're not going to be so open and free talking, but you got a young lady in there and y'all, laid up chilling. You're going to get to talking about state secrets and stuff like that. And before you know it, all of that is being sent straight to Xi Jinping, straight to the Chinese military. And then you have the FBI at your door in 48 hours. Matter of fact, how about 48 minutes? It's going to be real quick. You're going to learn very fast that them Chinese spies are no game. All right. But there's other guys that are wrapped up in this. Eric Swalwell, who ran for president this year or this cycle, who was in the debates, he's only one of them. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of guys just like Eric Swalwell out there, but we'll see. All right. Yeah, that's right, Sit My T. It's not even about like the movies. The movies are just, I feel like the movies at a certain point are kind of a distraction from the reality of how these things actually operate with the spies and things like that. So you become more susceptible to it. If the government got a spy on you, they don't want you to know all their secrets. They'll put. I saw one of these rappers, Casanova. If you guys know about him, maybe you don't. He got locked up recently, and the crazy part is that he gave them all the information. He didn't even know he was doing it. One thing he did was talk on certain interviews. I think he was on Vlad TV. He spoke on Vlad TV and basically was admitting to certain things that he hadn't said before. Talking about stabbings he was doing in jail. They got you on YouTube, sir. They can use that in court. And the federales also subpoenaed his Instagram account. So the police can hand over your account straight to the federales, and they're in there. Well, not the police. Instagram, Facebook, they can hand over your account to the police. You won't even know it. They'll be in there reading your DMs right along with you. So you're in the DMs thinking that everything is all good. You're not putting everything out in public. It's just private. Ain't no privacy. You're on the internet. And they're going to let you send DMs for a year or two. And they'll collect all the DMs. And you go to court and they'll be like, hey, is this you talking about send X, Y, and Z pack of pills to X, Y, and Z person? Is this you talking to somebody in China about this particular drug or this particular gun? They get it to you like that. So, the movies ain't going to tell you that, but that's the reality of what's going on right now. You got these guys getting busted straight off of the Instagram page, straight off of YouTube, straight off of social media in general. Public tweets get presented in the courtroom. I've seen it happen, but I digress. Thank y'all again for being here. If you enjoyed what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up, share the video, and also subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hold on. Somebody said, he has NordVPN. That ain't going to do nothing. That ain't going to do anything. Yeah, that NordVPN ain't going to do nothing. Maybe it will, but maybe it won't. I feel like they probably got a backdoor to that as well. And these guys ain't using no NordVPN. Look at what Hunter Biden was doing. Hunter Biden got caught up. He wasn't using no NordVPN or nothing like that. He gave his laptop straight to the repairman, thinking that it was going to be all good. The police, the FBI got that immediately. And speaking about the FBI Did you guys see what happened to your guy from NFAC, the Not Effing Around Coalition, the real Grandmaster Jay, aka John Johnson? What kind of a name is John Johnson, sir? When your parents high on drugs when they did that? I digress. Anyway, John Johnson, aka John, aka the real Grandmaster Jay, got locked up by the federales, is facing 20 years in the penitentiary for pointing his gun at not only Louisville police officers, because the NFAC guys were out there, quote unquote, protesting for Breonna Taylor when that whole thing happened, but he pointed his gun, his rifle, at Louisville police officers, FBI agents, and Secret Service agents. Okay, you cannot do anything like that. And as a result of that, they're pointing, which you had on camera, he faces 20 years in the penitentiary. Now, I heard that he got let out. He's free right now. Well, not totally free. They say he's on house arrest. Now, I don't know how you have the FBI arrest you and you get put on house arrest. Because normally when they arrest you, it's pretty much over with. A 98% clearance rate. When the FBI arrests you, they got you. It's over. You're not coming home anymore. Generally, 2% chance of success. The chances of the virus vaccine working are less than that, but I digress. Anyway, speaking of the virus vaccine, for one moment, then I'm going to get back to Grandmaster Jay. They issued a warning in Britain and saying, hey, if you have any kind of allergies, don't take that. So, any kind of allergies? I have a milk allergy, so should I not take it? How about if I get sniffles when I'm around cats, or if I got a reaction to shellfish? Allergies in general, they're beta testing the virus vaccine on you, in my humble opinion. But anyway, Grandmaster Jay got locked up. 20 years in the joint is what he's facing for pointing his gun at people. Now, I think they want him to snitch on some of the other guys that are in the group. That's what I think. Or I think that he might have been a plant from the very beginning. And the objective was to gather information and then tell. And then they're going to try to hide it by saying, okay, he faced 20 years in the penitentiary. He was able to cooperate. So we let him go. It's like, nah, from the very beginning, he probably already got locked up. And then they told him, it was like, hey, man, you're doing something real crazy here. You got an extremist group going on. So what we're going to do, you got two options, sir. This probably told him a long time ago. You got two options. Option A, you can help us bring these guys down. You go back doing your normal everyday life, and we're going to follow you. We're going to put all kind of recording devices on you. We're going to do whatever. You're going to take that group down from the inside as the leader. Or you're not coming home anymore. So if you got kids or wife or whatever, you're never going to see him again. We'll put you in a Supermax in Colorado somewhere up underground. They won't find you again. Okay, you'll be totally forgotten about. You won't see the sunshine no more in the rest of your life. So what's up? What you want to do? He probably told. That's just my opinion. But the fact that you got out and you're actually at home on house arrest when the FBI came and got you for pointing a gun at Secret Service, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how that happened. I don't really know. 98% conviction rate, federal agents. People said, oh, no, you got open carry. You can open carry in Kentucky or Georgia, wherever you was. Open carry does not mean open brandish, okay? I can carry my gun on me and have it just chilling right there, right? Or my holster or something like that. But I can't carry it like this in my hand and pointing at people. That's called brandishing. And he pointed his gun at officers, at FBI officers, Secret Service agents. You can't do that. That's called brandishing. You're going to go to the penitentiary for a while based on that. He probably got a record too. And then this whole thing with NFAC being kind of an extremist group, that's going to be a problem. All right. Now, Jay says, John Johnson, he says that, well, he had a light on the end of his rifle and he was just pointing it at the officers to see him. It's like, really, sir? Really? You needed to do all that with your rifle? I mean, surely the light comes off your rifle. I would presume it comes off your rifle. Maybe you got to screw it, take a little Phillips head, screw it off. But there's no need to punch a rifle like this to use a flashlight, okay? If I have a fly in my house, I'm not going to hit it with a sledgehammer. I'm going to take a fly swatter, not a sledgehammer, all right? Yeah, I know that the fly will get knocked out, but I'm going to use the appropriate tool for the job. I'm not going to point my whole rifle at officers to see him with the flashlight on the end of it. So that was a bogus excuse. I feel like he'll be able to get off because he probably would snitch. And the NFAC probably would be gone. These guys would be in the penitentiary, probably doing tell-all books about him and how he was just a rat, all this and that. That'll probably be the end result. Tekashi 6ix9ine all over again, in my humble opinion. But I hope these guys and other groups like them, Antifa, cough, cough, hopefully they go down. Hopefully there are more FBI informants, alleged FBI informants in Antifa and BLM. I'm sure there are. I saw Steven Crowder one time infiltrate Antifa. So if he can do it, surely the FBI can. They got plenty of resources, plenty of ways to get stuff done. Surely they can, and it needs to be taken down. Isn't there another autonomous zone out there in Portland? Was it the first one out there, or was that Seattle? Either way it goes, there's another autonomous zone, and this is after they said that Biden won. These people don't care about that. You can never try to please them at all. The Antifa, BLM, they're always going to want more. There's never going to be an end. And I've said this over and over. The so-called progressive is never satisfied. It's always going to be the next thing. Always. That's how that works. All right. But anyway, did you guys see Jemele Hill and what's her co-host? Her cohort, her partner in crime, Carrie Champion? Did you guys see Jemele Hill and Carrie Champion ask Jake Paul if it was racist to knock out Nate Robinson? Now, you guys may have seen the video, or you may not have seen the video, but Jake Paul, obviously, is a big YouTuber. I think he's also a recording artist. England is my city, all that. You know, that's Jake Paul. Or Logan. I think Jake and Logan have channels, and they're big YouTubers. But anyway, Jake Paul is actually a trained boxer. He's pretty good. I won't say he's like, you know, a professional, but he's good enough to knock out regular guys that don't box. But anyway, Jake Paul had a fight on the Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson undercard against the former NBA player Nate Robinson, and knocked Nate out within the first minute, basically. So he goes as a guest on Jemele Hill and Carrie Champion's show called Stick to Sports on Vice, which is a hilarious name. They should stick to sports rather than politics and all that kind of stupid stuff. But anyway, so they asked their guest, Jake Paul, if it was racist to knock out Nate Robinson. Now, Jemele Hill asked the question first, and she asked it in kind of a joking manner. She was smiling and laughing. So it kind of puts you in the mind of she was just trolling and just joking. But here's my first question about that. Why would you use a racist question to joke? Why would that be the comedic device? Why is that even funny? Like, why is that funny? I don't really get it. And then after he answers, it's like, nah, it's just sports, whatever. Here comes Carrie Champion asking the exact same question like 5 seconds later. So then he's kind of just, getting triggered. Was it Logan Paul or Jake? Either way it goes. So then he's kind of getting triggered and saying, hey, look, all right, don't ask me that no more. Stop asking me that. No, it's not about race. It's a sport. That's it. Race is not involved here. And it was just weird. Jemele Hill came out later and said they were just trolling him. But how was that? How was it funny? How does it even make any sense? It doesn't make any sense to use that as some kind of comedic device. But once you understand who Jemele Hill is, and once you understand her history, it makes all the sense in the world. It fits right in with her image. She is a racist, period. Hates white people, but at the same time loves the white man when he pays money. Cough Vice, cough ESPN. But anyway, she's a racist in general. That's her whole shtick. She was on ESPN calling Trump a white supremacist. She didn't do it on air, as far as I know. She would throw jabs at Trump on air for just being a bad president or a bad guy. But I don't remember her saying that he was white supremacist on air. She would do it off air. Throw us on and hide her hand. That type of thing. And she would double down on it. It got so bad that even Bob Iger, the woke Bob Iger, who was rumored to be a candidate running for president against Trump, he's that much of a Trump hater. Bob Iger, who's also the CEO of Disney, not just ESPN or ABC, of Disney, the big boss, he had to step down from his ivory tower and kind of condemn what she said. but not fire her at the same time. It was weird. But anyway, he even said that what she said was over the top, talking about Trump's white supremacists. And she has plenty of comments like that, talking about, America versus Nazi Germany. And she is a racist person, a toxic person. And in my humble opinion, she's part of the culture that killed ESPN. ESPN is just no longer a viable network. I think Stephen A. Smith is carrying that husk of a network on his back. Okay, you're talking about a snake skin. The snake been gone to other places. He's carrying around the skin on his back. Nobody else but Stephen A. Love him or hate him. Okay, I can't say I'm the biggest Stephen A. fan in the world, but he's their only talent. Who else do they have? I'd be thinking for a while. There's nobody else. Ooh, Pete Buttigieg or somebody. But anyway, she's part of the culture that killed ESPN. So then when she leaves ESPN and goes to the Atlantic and writes a bunch of just inflammatory, racist hit pieces against the president and Trump supporters and white people, and then she goes to Vice, she can do the exact same thing. And Carrie Champion, I feel like, is just part of, she's just riding the wave. When I was watching ESPN back in the day, Carrie Champion didn't really say much. She was just there to be kind of like eye candy for people. That's the only reason why they watch. Carrie Champion, she got the little short skirts and stuff. It was just she was the equivalent of a Price is Right model on ESPN. That's what she was. Didn't really say that much. So I don't know if she had any kind of racist outbursts on air like Jemele Hill. I feel like they're kind of like toxic twins. And they're both too old for this. They're both 45 years old. They're way too old for this. They should be more mature than this, but they're not. They're like little kids trapped in grown adult bodies. But anyway, Carrie Champion is being drugged down to the level of a Jemele Hill. If she was not there already, but she could have been there already. But they're being drugged down. There was all kind of allegations of racism over at ESPN, which is far from the truth. I mean, ESPN is, I'm talking about SJW Utopia. Super SJW, super woke, super involved with everything that's going on. All the leftist ideas, all the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, all of that. That's what they're into. Okay. And as a matter of fact, you have other black anchors doing well over there. Sage Steele, a great anchor, and a black woman. And Sage Steele was kept out of this special on ESPN about quote unquote blackness by her black colleagues because she wasn't black enough. She's biracial. That's aside from the point. The point is that she's kind of conservative. They don't like her because she's conservative. You see how that goes? So is it about racism or is it about you're liberal or conservative? That's pretty much it. Are you bringing in ratings or not? Not Carrie Champion. Jemele Hill's show called The Six or whatever. Trash. Pure trash. Nobody watched it. Nobody liked it. Her podcast with Michael Smith, trash. Nobody liked it. Two weirdos on camera. Didn't really go very well. No chemistry for real. So she's just trash. But anyway, Stephen A. doing very well. Kevin Namdi, I think that's his name, the African guy, doing very well. And Sage Steele all doing well on the network aside from Carrie and Jemele. They get cast away to Vice and do the exact same thing. So that question to Jake Paul, they were dead serious, in my humble opinion. They were trying to shroud it in this thing of humor. But no, once you understand these people and who they are, they don't joke like that. It's like if Adolf Hitler came back from the dead and said something about Jews. I think he's joking about that or is he being serious? Come on, let's just keep it real. All right. But again, thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video. Share the video. Do all that good stuff. Shannon Sharpe is on Fox Sports 1. Yeah, he was on ESPN, but he's on... Well, he was never on ESPN. He was on, I think, CBS on the NFL show in the morning. And then he went to Fox Sports 1. And I think Skip Bayless is on ESPN, and he went to the show with Shannon. And unfortunately, ever since the BLM stuff happened, they became kind of woke too over there on Fox Sports 1. And they were kind of more conservative, but it ain't like that no more. But anyway, and we gotta talk about the drunk auntie. Cynthia Johnson issuing a threat to Trump supporters. Now, the story behind that, what she'll hide behind is this. She'll say, during the hearings in Michigan about the election, that, well, first of all, I'll talk about that right quick, the hearings. During the hearings in Michigan, she was present, and she didn't really add much except for asking one of the witnesses, if not more witnesses, their name, like their full maiden name, and to spell it. Now, my question is, why would you ask somebody for their full maiden name and spell it? Are you trying to dox them? So those that are watching this that don't like Trump or Trump supporters or anybody questioning what's happening with the election could go after them and do something to them and hurt them and their family? Is that what's going on? She didn't ask anything other than that. So it seemed kind of strange. It seemed kind of a setup. But anyway, she said more things there, but she was just generally out of line, just not really doing a good job. So she says that a bunch of Trump supporters blew her phone up and left racist and threatening messages talking about N-word this and hang this, all kind of stuff, right? She had some of the recordings and played them on CNN, and I put that in the box of the video I did today. Now, like I was saying in my video, I'm not sure I believe that she actually has any recordings of people that were harassing her. I'm not sure I believe that. Now, could I be wrong? Of course. It's just my particular point of view. It's just my opinion. It might be true or false. But I'm having a hard time believing it because of all of what we've seen this year and the previous year and the year before that and so on. So many racial hoaxes is ridiculous. People talking about, oh, they sprayed Nazi stuff on my car. Meanwhile, the person that said it, that alleged the spray paint attack, spray painted it himself. Juicy Smouye, the most famous one, talking about, oh, they put a noose in my garage stall. Meanwhile, the same quote unquote noose had been there for months, long before he even got there, before they knew that he would even be there. So, it wasn't really a thing. That's that. And I mean, nah, I'm saying the wrong thing. I'm getting it twisted. Juicy Smouye had the garage stall was Bubba Wallace. Bubba Smouye. I got the Smouye brothers confused. Juicy Smouye was the guy that had the hoagie out there in Chicago talking about, oh, you know what? It's 1,000 degrees below zero. I got to go outside and get me a nice fresh hoagie. It's 2 a.m. It's not going to be fresh, but he had to have it, right? And then he said when he was out there, you had these Trump supporters emerge from the bushes. This is Trump country in Chicago in the polar vortex. And they beat him up. They put Ace Hardware town on his neck. And then they threw liquid on him, all kind of stupid stuff, right? That was false, obviously. Bubba Smouye, that was false. The Nazi spray paint attacks and several different instances, they were all false. So I don't put it past anybody to have a fake race hoax like this, calling in and leaving the voicemail. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. I don't believe anything. I've seen movies where they say the N-word and it's acting and they don't even want to say it, but they say it because they got to because of the role. It could be the same thing going on here, but I digress. She says that there were some hateful voice messages that were left to her because of her performance during the hearings. So she goes on the Facebook Live, and first of all, she's drinking on the Facebook Live. I'm like, all right, look, if you want to drink, that's your business, you know what I'm saying? It's legal, whatever, but come on, you on Facebook Live as an elected official drinking. What are you thinking about? Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull the picture up right quick. And yeah, that's her right there with the drink. And, I was watching the video. I'm like, okay. It was kind of weird because she was talking a little bit slowly and she kind of peered off to the side and was like, you could see right there, she's kind of out of frame a little bit. So it was like, are you trying to hide? I can see you. I'm looking dead at you right now, Miss Johnson, Cynthia Johnson. I can see you right now drinking your little drink. That's a wine glass, some kind of, probably some wine, some dessert wine or something like that. But anyway, she hit it right from the very beginning. And you know what? I kind of got triggered a little bit. I know alcoholics are. Before they get to talking, it's like they got to take a little refreshment of they drink. You understand? But at the very beginning, she hits the wine, And she's talking about, hey, you Trumpers, you gotta tread lightly. You gotta tread lightly. Don't be out here doing whatever. And the soldiers, if you're out there, and you got to be ready. You got to do it right. She's threatening Trump supporters. Something happened to you. It's like, really? Is that what we're gonna do? And like I said, that Cynthia Johnson, she is an elected official in Michigan State House, not the DC House, reps, but she's a state rep. So she's actually in office right now in Michigan, threatening Trump supporters live on Facebook. Now, my question is, what's going to be the action taken against her? I think there was already something happening in the local government. She had the committee removal. I forget what the exact terminology was right now, but committees were removed from her in Michigan. But will it be any kind of criminal penalty? I'll wait on that. I'll most certainly wait on that. But yeah, threatening Trump supporters, talking about, you better tread lightly and, knock it off and don't do it. And, we're going to get organized and soldiers go out there. Don't do stuff like that. Don't threaten people, anybody threatening. And my thing is this. If you have an issue with people that claim to be Trump supporters that were harassing you, okay, now you go to the police, file your police report, figure out what's going on and handle it that way, okay? And if you want to go out there and be a vigilante or something, then I'm not sure what the laws are behind that. But if it's legal to just go after them, then go after them directly. Don't try to say all Trump supporters. Don't do that, because now you're just threatening everybody, millions of people. And no, you can't do that. So hopefully she's removed from office. Obviously something's wrong with this lady. You on camera drinking, issuing crazy threats and liquid courage. Yeah, somebody said it right there, liquid courage. Liquid courage, that's right. So we'll see what happens as a result of that. If anything happens, I'll be ecstatic. If there's no development from that, I will not be surprised. Okay? Not in the least bit. Rapper 10,000 says Cynthia Johnson is racist herself during those hearings. Oh, I don't doubt it. And what's funny is that they said that the one lady next to Giuliani was drunk. I'm not sure if she was or not, but apparently the lady that was hitting the alcohol on camera as an elected official was probably the drunk one. Okay, and like I was saying before in the video, her being drunk is no excuse. If you're drunk, you're revealing sober thoughts. I forget the exact phrase. You know what I'm talking about. Drunk mind, sober thoughts. You understand what I'm trying to say. So her being drunk is no excuse. She feels that way regardless of whether she's drinking or not. But the fact that she's drinking and probably is drunk on camera talking to people as an elected official lets you know where her mind is, lets you know what kind of mental state she has. If you have a president that likes to drink or whatever, might get tipsy or drunk every now and again, they probably won't go on camera and say anything to anybody. Okay, you're not going to have somebody deliver a State of the Union address while they're drunk. If you're dehydrated, you look nasty and ridiculous. Like, what was that? One of them Kennedy boys, the ginger Kennedy, I forget his name. You guys know what I'm talking about. He delivered a State of the Union response or something to the equivalent, and he's like foaming at the mouth. It's like, sir, you look disgusting right now. I need you to go back to the crib, wash your face off, get something to drink, and tighten yourself up, man. You look ridiculous. You look awful. How can I sit right here for an hour straight and talk? You up there for about 5 minutes and you fall into pieces. You look nasty and terrible. And in a debate as well, if you're having a debate and you're both on stage, one guy is slurring his words, falling all over the place, and the other guy, correct posture, he looks good, he's saying everything nice and clear. That's not going to bode very well for the guy that looks like a disgusting pile of nothing. You understand? Yeah, a true serum, exactly, Wayne. That was true serum. So whatever she said, talking about Cynthia Johnson, that's how she feels for real. Take it seriously and defend yourself, protect yourself. That's pretty much how that goes. Yeah, you can't be doing the State of the Union just with a hangover, polka dot Suzanne. If you got a hangover and you're trying to deliver the address, man, just sleep it off, reschedule, do something. All right, get it together. Oh, and Pelosi's always drunk. Yeah, Pelosi, either she's drunk or has some kind of condition that makes her appear drunk. You I don't know which one. It could be both or either one. Who knows? All right. We got super chats on deck, and then I'm gonna get to the calls. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. And then we'll get to the calls in a little bit after the super chats are read. All right. Charleston R. Jr. says for anybody from Washington State, check out Spiffy's in Chehalis. I know I'll tour the pieces. Spiffy's in Chehalis. Had a tasty lunch there today. They are telling Jay Inslee to shove off and stay open with full service. There you go. Shout out to everybody staying open and not abiding by these shutdown orders. Hudson Jackson II says the president is going to have to consider limited martial law in order for us to keep our constitution. Gulag, Facebook, and Twister are about to commit treason. I may pull out of them soon. But I'm not really sure what that can actually solve as far as that martial law. Like, if we put martial law on the books, what would that actually do? I'm kind of confused. I don't have the answer to that question I'm asking you. That's all I'm asking. Thank you to Todd, who says, keep up the good work, sir. Will do. Thank you for that. Thank you to Orlando, who says, for the sake of easing racial tension, should Jake Paul have let Nate Robinson win? That would be a tremendous double standard, if that makes sense. Yeah, it would be. And you know what? The craziest part is that if he let Nate Robinson win, then it's like you're a white savior. So it's like you can't win for losing. How about this? How about if we are engaging in a boxing match or any kind of competitive thing, the best man should win. If the best man is black, so be it. If he's white, so be it. Who cares? Let the best man win. That gets to Raw Campbell, who says, ABL, you're making a difference by bringing the true news. What can the rest of us do to stand up and make a difference? Whatever you can do, man. Like, support those that are out there making a difference, or do it yourself. Your local area, just talk to people. You could do whatever you can in your scope. Whoever you can reach, however you can reach them, just, give out some real information, hand out some red pills. Everybody may not want it, and it's fine, but just do whatever you can as far as doing your part. If somebody's not willing to listen to you, it's okay. No need to force it, but just try. Just put things out there in the universe, and maybe it'll grasp one with somebody. Thank you, Stephen Rogers, who says, hey, ABO, do you think the Democrats and deep state are pushing for Trump and Biden supporters to kill each other on a civil war? And do you think China will take advantage of the opportunity to invade the U.S.? Nah. There won't be any kind of war. And I think they know that. I think they want compliance and not rebellion. That's my humble opinion. They're trying to crush morale. When you try to crush morale, you don't really want people that are trying to fight. And I don't think a lot of people are going to fight. Like I said before, you got your Netflix, you got your Amazon Prime, you pretty much chilling. There's no need to go out there and do anything else. For a lot of people, they feel that way. That's kind of how it is. They're kind of oblivious to what's happening around them. Thank you to, Orlando, who says, flashback to 2016, 2017. Liberals wanted the SCOTUS to eliminate the Electoral College. Flash forward to now. Are they complaining now? Funny, huh? No, they're not. Not at all. Because it worked in their favor. It's all good. They're not going to... Whatever they allegedly did, allegedly worked. Thank you to F. Google, who says, love you, ABL, stay strong. Thank you for that. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, I'm giving AOC MVC, most valuable capitalist, Goya and $58 sweatshirts. There you go. Hey, AOC is a big-time capitalist. Selling her products all the time. Selling her red lipstick, selling them sweatshirts, helping Goya have one of the best years ever. Yeah, so shout out to AOC being an involuntary marketer. Shout out to Lee Rui Lin, who says, are you on any free speech platforms? We got to walk away from these censoring outlets. I got my website. People always ask me, are you going to get on X, Y, and Z platform, over there? I'm on the mainstream, not at the mainstream media. I'm on the main platforms. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Is that it? Yeah. I'm on those platforms, but I got my website. So regardless of what's going on, regardless of whether this particular platform, it doesn't allow this, it doesn't allow that, it doesn't really work too well or whatever, I have full control over my own website. I could do whatever I want on my website as long as it's legal and not breaking any kind of federal or state law. I'm straight. Nobody could take that from me, period. They could take ads away. They could do whatever. They can't take that away. I can, they can't do nothing to me on there. So that's my free speech platform, my own website. That's how I rock. Let me see. Shout out to Matthew Phillips, who says Matt Walsh was hilarious today. He said Swalwell will rightly be remembered for his fart on live TV rather than his Chinese spy scandal. And you know what? As soon as I saw Eric Swalwell, I thought, hey man, the farting guy, man, that fart was so loud. I was like, good grief. And you know what? You talking about something I didn't fart. It's like, man, stop it. You were talking, paused, and then right when you paused, you farted. You farted on air, and it was crazy. It's okay, man. You're a human being. You fart. Okay, it's fine. Shout out to Critter Sitter for the donation. Thank you to Lewis from Spain, who says YouTube is no better than the others. No Alex Jones, no Dr. Common Sense, no real freedom of expression. But wherever you go, we go, don't worry. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to the Matchup, who says, keep up the good work, ABL. You're the best. I'm a small entertainment channel. Please shout me out. Would appreciate it so much. Hey, shout out to you, the Mashup. I appreciate you. Thank you to Texas Sweet Tea, who says, hey, ABL, there's a video I saw of Grandmaster Jay working security at a Trump rally on Heavy Duty Country YouTube channel. You know what? I saw him in the crowd. I saw him out there with his shades on. CIA, they put him in there. It's like, yo, you're going to be the guy that does X, Y, and Z. Hilarious. Thank you to Donnie the Don, who says, hashtag Cynthia Smouye. And we got a whole Smouye family, don't we? We got Bubba Smouye, Cynthia Smouye, and of course, the Don Dada, the OG, Juicy Smouye. We got a whole Smouye tribe. Thank you to Orestes Moha, and I'm telling your name, oh no, sorry, who says, ABO, do you think we still have a chance of a Trump presidency for another 4 years? I'm trying to stay positive, but it's getting harder by the day. I don't know. Anything can happen. Maybe, maybe not. I have no idea. I think we can look forward to next week, December the 14th or the 15th, when electors meet. And we can also look forward to January 7th, when Congress would certify electors' results or the electors' votes. So we got to just look forward to those days. Aside from that, I don't really have much. The lawsuit coming from Texas could be promising, and we'll see what's going on with that within the next 4 or 5 days. Thank you to Garage Sunday, who says, did you hear about Trump almost blowing a lid on our friends from other worlds doing research on our planet, Mars base, Space Force, coincidence? Oh, I had no idea. What I did hear about was that there's aliens here, like on Earth right now, walking and talking, but they're not going to reveal themselves until we're ready. So who knows? Some of these guys that you think are regular normies could be aliens. You never know what's going on. Or they might just kind of blend into their environment and you never see them. They could be birds or something else. Shout out to Bryce Clump, who says, America's pills aren't poisonous. They are mind expanding. Trump Magadine. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. So we got 19 states on deck. Wow, you talking about, what's that, the Union versus Confederate? Listen, you're going to see probably tomorrow morning some think piece somewhere from MS-13 DNC, the Chi-Com News Network, wherever it is. They're going to talk about Confederacy Union. Oh, the states that are joining the lawsuit, they, there's like the Confederacy and they're going against us, the Union, all this and that, which is the stupidest argument. Anybody that makes that argument talking about the Union were just the good guys and the Confederacy was not, are ridiculous, because the Union had slaves for the entire war and for a longer period of time than the Confederacy. They don't want to talk about that though, but I digress. You will see those think pieces tomorrow. If I thought about it that quick, they did as well. And they probably watching this right now and they're going to use what I just said for their own think pieces. So be ready for that for sure. Or maybe they are watching this and they're not going to do it because I called it. Either way it goes, that could happen. Because when it's all said and done, you may have as many states that join the lawsuit as states that are, like you may have every state that went for Trump join a lawsuit. That might be what happens, but we'll see. Alrighty. So thank y'all for being here yet again. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe right now and click the bell while you're at it so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. All right. Confederacy destroyed the U.S. Confederacy was just, doing their own thing like Texas was. Texas was its own republic at one point and then joined the Union, but they were their own thing. If the Confederacy didn't succeed, then slavery wouldn't have ended at that moment. It would have ended probably about 20 years later, the same way it did in Brazil because of industrialization and slavery no longer being a profitable venture. But different story. I digress. Brazil ended their slavery with no war, and they were much more brutal on their slaves. How did that happen? Again, we'll move on. All right. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let me go ahead and get my Skype together, turn all the volumes and stuff down, and we'll go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Let me see. All right, let me get my sound together, and we'll be good. Okay, I think we're straight. All righty, we got... All right, call. I want to speak to 631.
Hi, is this Anthony?
Yes, it is.
Hey, how are you? From New York.
I'm doing pretty good about yourself.
Not so great. I'm very depressed over...
Hold on. Pause for a moment. I have feedback in the background. Turn your speakers down for me, please.
I'm trying to turn... Let me turn off the TV. Hold up. Got it off. Okay. Is that better? Yeah, I got to turn this off the computer. I'm just wondering, do you think we should have a revote with no mail-in ballots? None.
Well, that's going to be...
an officer go to the military and do it in person.
Well, that's going to be... That's going to be a logistical nightmare. I think that what we should do is just... what we should do is figure out, just do an audit of the votes that are in and see which are legitimate and which are illegitimate.
Yeah, but they're not. The Supreme Court keeps throwing everything out.
Well, I mean, we're not finished yet. That's all I could really say. I think the chances of that happening are kind of slim to none because we already voted and it took a while. So that probably wouldn't happen. I think what will happen is we need to just get down to the core of what's going on with these votes.
And what do you think about the military? All of them fighting for Biden. Do you think that's truthful? No, I don't.
Nah, it can't be.
Fake.
Yeah, can't be.
It can't be. I mean, because Trump was so good to the military. I mean, I can't see them not voting for him. This whole thing is getting me very depressed and sick. I'm tired of it. I never caught the COVID virus, and I do not wear that mask. Okay?
I hear you. Yeah.
I wear it when I go in the doctor's office, and I wear it when I go in the stores. That's it, because you have to wear it. But other than that, I haven't caught it. I haven't gotten a cold. I never get sick. I never take the flu shot. I never take the pneumonia shot. I don't know what this is, what it even is. I think it's people with underlying conditions that are getting sick and dying.
Oh,
really.
Of course.
Not the COVID virus. I think it's just a virus, Some people get it worse than others, but, that's just like the flu, I just think this is being blown so far out of proportion to destroy President Trump's good economy, close up everything, close up all the states, And I live in New York, so way out on the North Fork of Long Island, and I don't ever see anybody with it. No one.
Yeah,
I just don't know what.
It's not really that big of a deal as far as this whole mask thing. The media are reporting it in a way.
I hate it.
Yeah, the media keep reporting it. They're talking about people keep dying left and right. If all you saw was
they
mainstream,
want you to wear it in the house.
Huh?
Now they want you to wear it in the house.
Yeah, that's so
I'm
silly.
Like, are they kidding? I live alone. I'm by myself. I'm not going to catch anything from myself.
Right, exactly.
Or my little dog.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just think she's Nancy Pelosi is behind all of this, and China. I'm not leaving them out either because I know they even came out openly and said they were going to bring the United States to its knees. And Nancy Pelosi happens to be a big fan of China. I just think there's a lot of shady treason going on. I mean, high treason, not even low treason. She should be hung out to dry somewhere. I hate saying that, but she is like an enemy to the state. All these women in the Congress are terrible, as far as I'm concerned. And
Yeah.
I mean, how long are we going to take this? How long are we going to take this before we start acting back?
All we gotta do really is just go out there and vote the correct way, because these people are they're all voted for, they're all in power, and we gotta get
Yeah,
down. Wait, hold on, wait, and we gotta get down to the
Okay.
bottom of what's going on with this. So with this voting that's happening this time, we gotta get down to the bottom of any kind of quote unquote irregularities that's happening, and move on from there. But thank you for your call.
Right.
I definitely appreciate you.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right now.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller, and thank you all for being here. Let's get to some more calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. There's always the number in the description box, and there's also an email to call or to contact me to get right here in the bottom left-hand corner if you call in through Skype. And let's get to the next call. 858, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. My name is Charles, down here in San Diego, California. Just wanted to bring you up to date. If you may already know these things, maybe not. We have a gentleman who's pretty active down here, who brought to everyone's attention, it was on the news this morning, that there were actually only 39 flu cases to date reported in San Diego. That were hospitalized, ICU, that whole thing. 39 as opposed to 17,000 by the same date last year. So that's something that just kind of, hopefully that gets out. That's going to expose some obvious issues, some people having some ulterior motives with this whole virus thing. And then the other thing down here in California is San Diego's Unified School District, as you may have heard, is trying to implement the teachers to be mandated to take a course on white privilege.
Oh,
what are your
man.
thoughts on these things?
Yeah, the whole white privilege thing is crazy, because I mean, it's a course where they spend a bunch of money to bring in a third party to tell you how bad you are if you're a white person, or if you're a non-white person, tell you how weak and soft you are and how superior the white man is. So it's just overall a bad thing for everybody involved. Nobody wins, and it's purposeless. It doesn't really help anything. It's just a bunch of money that's spent to, I think, maybe fulfill a particular quota for diversity training. It's just stupid. It's just all dumb. And I feel like these things should be abolished nationwide. I think Trump did it on the federal level, but it should be on every state level. It should be abolished for sure.
Yeah, well, they're in the spotlight down here. I guess San Diego is trying to become a. I couldn't believe the answer of the superintendent, that when the news asked him, does he think this is a racist sort of plan? He was like, no, we need to attack the racism in our school system. We need to eradicate it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I loved your videos today. Keep up the good work. San Diego, don't give up on us yet down here in Southern Cal.
And thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
All righty, great call. Let's get to some more here. Let's go. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony and Sonia, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. About yourself?
All right. Well, the saga is ongoing with the election, but I understand this is it. This big case with all these states suing is going to tell us one way or another.
I feel like that'll probably be the main one there because you got a lot of cases. It'll probably go to the Supreme Court, and it'll be right before the states, before the electors vote. So we'll see what's going to happen from there, in my opinion.
It's funny how they keep referring to him wanting to stage a coup or overturn the election, but he's not trying to do that. He's just trying to make sure there was no fraud. And when they keep saying it doesn't exist, it would not even be entertained at this level as much as they hate him if he didn't have anything. I mean, they would have thrown it out from the start, wouldn't they?
Yeah, pretty much. But of course, the media, they got to pretty much go with what their narrative is and say that, it's baseless. And I see that everywhere. Baseless accusations. And it's to the point now where they're getting really upset. Yep. They're getting triggered about it.
Yeah, when I saw, I think it was CBS, I just randomly turned on that channel and they said that his baseless claims of voter fraud, and I think they called it rhetoric, and then they put a still picture of him looking kind of grumpy. And I'm like, wow, they always work hard to paint that image of him of being such a mean person. And they use those words, But I couldn't understand, the caller before said if we should vote again in person. You know that if they didn't want to cheat, we would have done it that way the first time around. So that's never going to happen. They wanted the mail-in. But even to get into your phone, I was thinking about it the other day. You have like these two-step authenticators. They have iris recognition. They have fingerprints. You get extra notifications, zigzag patterns, you name it. And none of that is needed when you go vote. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. It's so crazy. But,
fingerprints would solve a lot.
It would. But see, the issue is that they don't want it to be secure. They want it to be open so it can be, so they can cheat. And I called that from the beginning. I was like, that's why they want to have no voter ID. And then they want to try to say, if you want voter ID, that means you're racist. It's like, what? I can't even go to the grocery store and buy certain items without an ID. Now if you go in there and try to buy some boxed wine, kind of see your ID. You could be looking like Santa Claus in there, and they're gonna say, "See your ID, Saint Nick," and you got to show it.
And then Nancy was on the news, and I couldn't bear to watch. But I understand that they were even the mainstream media was grilling her about the stimulus. So am I to understand that the relief package that she plans to approve, because once Biden is in, is giving everyone a stimulus check of $0? Is that right?
I'm not sure about that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
And that's the first time I think I ever saw her with the mask covering her face. She always has it around her neck, and I think she was just trying to hide her face because she knew she was so full of it, making everybody wait. Even though when Wolf Blitzer was interviewing her, she kept repeating that, and he pointed out the homeless people in her district, she says that she feeds them,
Wow.
But she clearly waited until, well, she's waiting until Biden is in office, and I think the check or whatever it is, it's less money than what Trump offered the first time around overall. But she didn't want it.
Yeah, because it's all about politics. It's all it is. It's not about people or anything like that. It's just a political game that they're playing. And they don't really care because they feel like their side, they vote for them, are going to just pretty much bypass it. They don't really care if they get the short end of the stick. As long as they can play these political games, that's all that's paramount. That's forefront.
Well, the only thing that gives me hope is that I was hearing through the grapevine that around this time, when people get elected, they resign from their current positions, and so far Kamala is still doing her same job. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's interesting that she hadn't resigned yet. I mean, I feel like there might be something there. I feel like on that side, they think that there could be a chance it might go the other way. Because I think they know they did something that wasn't right. If they had total confidence in what they did and that they're going to be the next administration, they would go ahead and just resign and go full force into the administration, into the transition, but they haven't done that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm going to run now, but I just wanted you to shout out, if you could give a shout out to my son, Alex. He gets so excited when you come on, and he reminds me when you go live. He just found out Santa isn't real, so maybe you could tell him Santa's real. No, but seriously, just say maybe happy holidays, and that's it. And I'll let you go.
All right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Shout out to Alex out there if you're watching. Enjoy your holidays. Get you some good gifts. Santa Claus and all that coming through the chimney. So shout out to Alex, man. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. You know, and I appreciate you for tuning in to me. And shout out to your mom. Good people. Alrighty. So let's get to some more here. 484, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL?
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. You will not believe what I found out these past few weeks, man.
What'd you find out?
I found out, compared to Trump and Obama's administration, all the mass shootings that happened, Barack Obama had 24 mass shootings that happened under his administration the entire 8 years he was in office. And Trump only had, this past 4 years, only 4 mass shootings. And the president that was before Barack Obama had only 8 mass shootings. So throughout the years of 2000, from 1999 to now, Barack Obama had the most mass shootings that happened under his administration.
Well, I guess the whole mass shooting narrative, it doesn't really work right now. So they just totally ignore it. They won't talk about how it was worse under Obama and all of that. They won't talk about how Trump has done good in his administration. They talk about anything that they think is bad.
Yeah, and another thing I heard Biden say, when people lie and say Joe Biden is not going to raise taxes. Oh no, he is the proof. I literally heard him say that at one of his rallies. He said to all the people in the audience, he said, if you think I'm not going to raise your taxes, you're wrong. I'm going to raise your taxes. You guys are going to get high taxes. I was like, wow, he actually said it.
Yeah, he said it, and people don't care.
Exactly. That's the thing about it. And it's like, what hasn't this man said on live television? It's just like, it's mind blowing. It's not only he's accused of it, number one, he's not denying it. He changes the subject and he just says it on live television. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it doesn't really care because he feels like regardless of what he says or does, the Democratic Party has his back. The media has his back. They all have his back. You got plenty of money behind him. So you could pretty much say anything or say nothing. It doesn't matter. It'll be the same outcome in his mind.
Yeah, pretty much. And like the other outcome I heard him say, he said, I'm putting you all back in chains or something like that. Now, Oh my God. If Trump said something like that.
Oh man, racist.
It'd be a hellstorm.
And you know what? I remember that the whole put you back in chains thing because that was in Danville, Virginia. And that's like, a lot of plantation stuff out there, former slave area. So for him to say that out there was really, really bold of him. But again, this is Joe Biden. He can say pretty much whatever he wants. And the Democratic establishment, the machine, will support him regardless.
Yeah. And I saw your video earlier about that congresswoman who threatened Trump supporters. When I saw this, I first looked at the title because it popped up notification on my phone. I'm like, OMG. My first response to her, I'm like, are you stupid? But then I saw her drinking, and I was like, oh, she must have been drunk. But still, it was stupid. It was very idiotic.
Yeah, definitely dumb. Definitely very idiotic. And, it's all dumb. The drinking on camera as an official in government was dumb, number one. And then number two, saying what she said was dumb. It was just a whole big dumb sandwich.
And I'm still trying to find this video. It says a video. I'm still trying to find this video of her getting threatened, the voicemail from a Trump supporter. I'm still trying to find this video. I'm like, where's this video at?
If you go to the article on my website, it's on the it's in the sources, and it's from CNN. Yeah.
From CNN.
Yeah, because she was on CNN. She was on CNN, and they played it on there. But like I said earlier in this video, I don't know if I believe that. Maybe that's a real audio recording. Maybe it wasn't. I have no idea.
Well, I'm going to hear it for myself and determine, because it might be another Jesse Smollett situation, like you said.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks for answering my call, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Have a good one.
Same to you. Alrighty. And I guess there's some more calls here. 630, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Yes.
Is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Hey, ABL, great night to you, great day to you. I sent in a message on there, and I wasn't sure. I really couldn't complete it the way I wanted to. I wanted to ask, what do you think if this gets tied up with President Trump in the courts, and it goes, and Nancy Pelosi becomes the de facto president in the meantime? Now, let's say that happens. However it can happen, I'm not sure. I don't know enough about it, but I hear things. And in any event, and Trump does succeed, and he does win his case or cases, for the election, and he becomes president thereafter, after Nancy Pelosi is, in the meantime, the president. The question is, does that satisfy his second term as president? Let's say he gets in a month later.
I know where you're going. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and sum it up for you. So basically, what you're saying is he could possibly be like, what? Who was it? FDR that did that?
Well, 3 terms, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So basically, so basically, if he was to win the court case and then become the next president, would that be a second term? I think that it would be a second term because they would have to rule on the election results, yes? And then if the result says he won, then that means he got elected.
Yes, but with the time, is there some sort of, is there an amount of time that would satisfy that condition of him technically being elected, or could he run again even thereafter? Let's say he got appointed in a year after. Let's say the court battle went on for a year, God forbid, and he got appointed a year after. Would he be able to run again? I mean, people laughed about that meme where it said Trump all the way to 2040, showing every 4 years. They laugh about it. You go ahead, man. That'll be a nice kick, like they wouldn't believe to the Democratic Party. If every single year they did the same thing and kept trying to cheat, and he kept going to the court and he kept winning it, his way, of course, and he never got to satisfy his second term. He could be here till 2040.
You know what? That's a good point.
Crazy.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. It's like, okay, if his term was interrupted because of any kind of lawsuit, that's a really good point. I don't know the answer to that, but I feel like if you are elected for a 4-year term, you should be entitled to that entire 4 years. So I don't know if that will move up. If that will move up the time that he's the president. So let's say he gets put in there a year later. It's 2022. He gets inaugurated. So he has another year to be there. So I'm not really sure how that would work. That's a really good question.
Yeah, that would be. Wouldn't that be incredible? Trump in 2040. I don't care. I'm 90 years old. I'm going to keep running. They're going to keep cheating. I'm just going to keep winning. We're going to keep winning it our way. You're going to get so tired of winning. You're going to get sick of it. Yeah. I mean, can you believe that? What a circus it would be. But you know what? I mean, these times call for all kinds of measures. And we have to come out firing. And by the way, I'm a lifelong Democrat, but I couldn't vote for these guys. There's no possibility of voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton last time too. There's some things that I like about the Democratic Party, but maybe a different time. The fact is, I want what's best for the country, and the fact of the matter is, I voted for Trump, and Trump has to win. I mean, this is retarded the way ridiculous the way things are going. I mean, I can't believe what I'm watching. I can't believe the way things are going in this country. It's going to be chaotic. I'm just in the back of my mind, I've thought recently about what a civil war would be like. I mean, can you imagine that? There would be a lot of people dying in a civil war if we had a civil war. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Who really does know? I mean, it
never happened. It wouldn't happen here today because people are kind of like complacent. And when I say people, I mean those the general everyday public. They're not going to be trying to go out there fighting. This is not 1776. People are, they got their Netflix, they got their Popeyes chicken. They pretty much get to go.
I can't disagree with you there. I kind of, I also felt that too. That would people actually go out there? And it'd have to be a pretty desperate situation I mean, people kind of, well, okay, we'll just let it go, and things have gone on, and well, you can live with it, and can they live with it? I don't know. I mean, you just never know. But that'd be a terrible thing if it actually came to that, and there are a lot of people that would, certainly pass on. And I would actually have to buy a gun. I don't own a gun. Never did. I always felt that guns were for killing people, and I don't like them. They scare me because that's a pretty final decision, a pretty final answer if you're going to use one of those. Unless you're just going to show off and be, and play, play the clown game. And I don't get into that, especially out here in Chicago. You pull out a gun out here, it's showtime. There's no such thing as open carry. It's conceal and carry out here, up in, at least in northern Illinois, but Chicago. You come out here and do that. Okay, it's showtime. Is that what you want? Don't worry, I got something for you, So, in any event, I appreciate you talking tonight, Anthony. I hope things are well with you, and good to you in the meantime. Thank you for chatting. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care now.
All righty. Great caller. We'll get some more calls here. 720, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, my name is Rob Clark. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Doing well. I just want to call and say a couple things. One, just God bless you for your channel and what you put out there. I'm out here in Colorado, outside of Denver, so the chaos we deal with out here. And I wanted to bring to your attention that my business partner had died a few months ago of cancer. And the mortuary was getting a $12,000 kickback by a research group if it was listed as COVID. And luckily we caught it in time and were able to, get it changed to the cancer that killed her.
So wait. Let's hold on. Let's slow down. So
okay, sorry about that.
Your business partner died of cancer, and they put on the cause of death. They put the virus as a cause of death.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So you guys caught it before it went through to change it.
We caught it before it. Yep. Caught it before it was finalized.
Wow.
Yep. And as you can imagine, and it's just, it was real salt on the wound because I personally had to do hospice for her because the people that were doing the home care for her before were stealing. They got caught. The police got involved, and she wouldn't trust anyone else except for me. So I kind of had to get in that spot with her to the last hour, and then to have my beloved friend, Patriot, be scarred by, COVID. If you have COVID and you die from it, I don't know. I used to live in Virginia, Fairfax. Anyway, but if you die of COVID, there's a so-called research group that was given a $12,000 kickback if it's of COVID. And like I was saying, I was just so furious. I called them. The attorneys are involved. And they're like, well, let me double check something. Call back in 2 hours. I know we clarified that it was the cause of cancer.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep. It's just mind blowing because she had just gotten out of the hospital. She's completely clear of it. Did not have it. And even when I said, I'll get blood tests done. I don't care. The law's going to get involved. She immediately said, it's too late to see if she had it or not. It's already gone out of her system. It's like they immediately had a defense, for what they were doing.
Wow, man.
And, unfortunately, our governor, said anyone that doesn't wear a mask is selfish, DAS, that. And he said that and to the public. So a lot of people
What state are you in?
look at people like, I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a real mix here because we only have Denver, Colorado Springs, and Pueblo that is liberal. And the rest of us are, Rocky Mountain lifestyle type folks, very right wing. We actually have a town called Rifle, Colorado, and I think it's a requirement to have your open carry in there. So they're prepared for it. No one's going to mess with their town, but that's up in the mountains.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of mixed opinions, out here. As you may be aware, we over the past 10 years have had a huge influx of people, and they're bringing their ideology from,
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a stat that said that as far as the election is concerned, there was like a 10% increase in Biden voters in Denver, Colorado Springs. It was like 5 places in Colorado that were in the top 10 as far as increase in Biden voters.
Yeah. And I'm sure that probably Dominion, I don't know exactly what's here, but it was so overwhelming. And how Hickenlooper even got elected to the Senate blows my mind. This is a guy.
I'm with you.
That he used our 9/11 post 9/11 recovery fund for his own personal defense for stealing some of that money.
That's crazy,
and
man.
He got elected.
That's wild. But hey, I thank you for the call. I got a few more on the line I got to get to, but
yeah, of course.
Thank you for the call, man.
Thank you so much, and thank you for everything you do, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
God bless you. Yes, sir.
All right. Great call. Let's get some more calls here. All righty. It's Skype caller. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah. Oh, man. I called on the day after the election night, and I said you did a great job reporting the election. That was amazing on your part. Yeah, but now we see what's going on with Trump and the lawsuits and all that craziness that's going on. And a lot of people are calling this an election fraud. I think it's bigger than that. I think this is an organized crime. The way I'm looking at this, I feel like this is an organized crime of like everyone that wants to destroy the moral and the patriot, power that America have. That's how I see this election, because the very beginning of when the election process was going on, everyone saw that there was fraud. We saw it even before they were doing the lawsuits. Everyone knew that there was something that just didn't add up. Right? And yeah, from the very beginning, we knew that there was something that just did not add up. And then they look you in the face with more evidence that came out, and they said, actually, what you're seeing, everyone that's intelligent, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of intelligent people here, especially those that are watching you. We saw that there was obviously something wrong. And they said, it's like you looking at a blue sky, and they said, that's not a blue sky. That's actually a purple sky.
Right.
We knew that there was voter fraud from the get-go, and I know that, a lot of people are against civil war. A lot of people are against, bringing in the military, martial law. But I think right now Trump have done a lot. And I think right now it's up to the American people to do their part. I think it's up to the American people right now to do their part. And what came out of what Trump has created, and I notice this because I'm a black man, right? What Trump have created a unity between black conservative and white conservative. I've never seen this amazement of black conservative and white conservative like uniting to fight against the liberal media and the socialist Democrats to basically bring America back on its feet. So that's what Trump has done, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, because people that normally may not even know each other, may not necessarily be in the same circles, are now coming together, and it's just like family. And it's the race thing is not even the important thing. It's about coming together for a common purpose. So I think you're right about that.
Yeah, it's amazing what Trump has done in America, and we noticed that that the people that's calling the Trump racist, they themselves are coming out with racist statements, saying you can't vote for Joe Biden if you're not black. That girl that told 50 Cent that he's black, so he's not going to vote for Donald Trump. I mean, that of itself is racist. Just the report you talk about with that lady that told Luke or something, the guy that knocked out the black guy, said, "Oh, well, you're supposedly was trying to trigger him with racist, thoughts and racist heretic." So it's crazy how the liberal media, what they're saying about the Republican Party, they themselves are getting caught in that same foolishness. And then they turn around and say, guys, listen, the freaking Republicans, those are the racist ones. When Trump himself was actually hanging out with all kinds of rappers, all kinds of people that now are calling Trump racist. It's ridiculous. And I think that what I love about what Trump has done, Trump has united America, real Americans, not the one that wants to destroy America with the Chinese brands, with the foolishness that's going on in the Democratic parties. I'm sorry to go this way, but people don't know if they're a man or female nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Conservative are coming together and trying to build America back on its feet. So I think Trump have done enough. Even if Trump doesn't get elected, I think he has created a movement in America where conservative is not a party of a white person or an Asian person. Conservatism has become a party of freedom, liberty, justice for all race, and I think that's what Trump has done for America, and I think that's really, really cool. I think that's really, really cool what's going on. I'm sitting back because I'm not really into politics. I'm not really into Democrats, Republican, and all that craziness. But me being a Christian, I have to choose the right side. And the right side is obviously the side that stands for freedom, justice, and liberty for all. And that's the Conservative Party. So it's amazing what I'm seeing.
I agree with you, man. 1,000%.
Anyway, ABL, thank you so much, man. Take care.
Thank you for the call.
All right.
Wow, fantastic call. I mean, I couldn't have put it no better myself. Absolutely great call. And speaking of calls, the number to call is 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box below. There's also an email in the description box. So you can be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen if you got video. And you can call in through Skype. All right, let me get to the next one. All righty, caller, who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Thomas from Arizona.
All righty, man, what's going on?
Hey, just want to first say congratulations on your Tundra.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I got a 21 Tundra too, the Nightshade edition, and it's fun to drive. And I'm 6'5", you're tall too, so it fits really well.
Oh, it fits great, man. Loving it. Really enjoying it.
But I just want to talk to you about this voting shenanigans that is going on. And I just don't feel confident because, how do I know my vote's going to count the next time we do this? You know what I mean? Like, even if Sleepy Joe gets in, I told my wife, I was like, how do I know if my vote even counts? And I think me feeling like this, I think a lot of other Americans feel the same way. And it's like, what do we do from here? It's kind of like, do you have to show up, bring your ID, utility bill to cast your vote? Like Like, I just don't have that confidence anymore, regardless whether it's Trump or Biden. Like, I'm just thinking, like, how do we move forward to ensure that all of our votes count? And then even those machines, like, how do we even know if, like, those are tabulating correct? So I don't know, ABL, I'm just kind of curious to what you think, how we move forward and ensuring that our vote counts.
Well, the main thing, I think, you got to go through all this court action, because a lot of the court action, that's going to determine where we go from here. Because, you got the mail-in stuff. And I think one of the big pieces of the court action is how the mail-in voting expanded way beyond where it should be. Because what it was from the beginning was, okay, if you have a legitimate reason why you can't be in person, why you can't vote in person, you can apply for an absentee ballot and it'll be sent to you. Not this whole thing of sending out ballots randomly to anybody, and how you can have fraud. So I think once we get down to the core of these court issues, we'll be able to get the election tightened up again. And things we have had things before in the past that were for the integrity of the election. We had the Voting Rights Act back in the 60s. We could do the same thing again this time, but we got to just keep the pressure on them and not just let it go when we feel like there's no more hope. You got to keep on going. It may take a while, but we got to get through it to get to where we got to go, basically.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I could accept the fact if Biden won, and I know Trump could accept the fact if Biden won if it was fair. You know what I mean? Like, we're not sore losers here, but it looks kind of funny when you go to bed and then you wake up and then they're saying they're bringing in U-Haul trucks of votings, and I'm like, this does not sound right. Like, this is like, I mean? Like, I don't get it. So hopefully, all this will get squared out through the courts, and we'll see where we go from here.
That's right.
So, all right, ABL, it was a pleasure talking to you as always, and you be safe and stay healthy.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Bye.
All right, yeah. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, you got to get through the court action, because like I was saying, the main piece is how this vote by mail just expanded and blew up way beyond where it was intended. So we got to get through that first. All righty, Skype caller. Who am I speaking to?
Good evening, ABL. Let me turn you down here. Hi. How
Hey.
are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm a little dismayed. I'm actually seeing all of these people getting caught doing very bad things, and have been since, I guess, Clinton, when I started actually paying a little bit of attention to it. And nobody's ever been punished. I mean, look at all the people from the FBI and the Clintons, and now you see Swalwell and all these others, and nobody's being held responsible.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it depends on who you are, whether you be held responsible or not.
Well, I've watched every elite, if you will, get away with everything that they've gotten caught doing.
Uh-huh.
And some of them have even admitted it.
Yeah?
Okay. Actually, I was trying to get a hold of you last time because of they're talking about the weed, and everybody talked about the weed all night. But my only quip on that was the fact that I guess they finally found a way to make a lot of money on it.
Well, of course. I mean, that's always, see, they're going to make money on weed regardless, legal or illegal. It's going to be a way. This is America. You can make money regardless. But I think the next play is going to be, they're going to try to get other drugs in there and make money off of those as well. And also, it's going to be kind of a social engineering thing. If they get people that are kind of like on drugs and have that be kind of normalized, then it's easier to do things like this where people get away with murder, basically, and nobody does anything because they're pacified with the drugs, with the entertainment, with the food and everything else. So why would they do anything to fight back? They're kind of already, they're satisfied and they're complacent.
Yeah. Well, like I say, we'd always discussed that, and it's like, yeah, they'll legalize it when they decide that when they finally figure out how to make all the money off of it, which evidently they did. Everybody was mentioning that it was a distraction, which of course was true too, but that was my take on it. Bad Santa. I'm doing my own video on that guy coming up Saturday. And Texas for the win.
Yeah.
Actually, I just looked up on the docket. There's a website you can go to for the Supreme Court, and that lawsuit is on the docket.
Okay. All
just
right.
for an update. In fact, a lot of the mainstream medias are saying that it's not, and it won't be. But it looks, according to the website, I tried to post it, but your chat wouldn't let me.
Yeah, links don't work in the chat because sometimes you might
Okay.
get, you might get bots to come in there and post weird links, so links don't work. But I take a word for it, and then we can always, we can always see it. I mean, if the media wants to
Oh
look it
yeah,
up, which they,
it's there. It's there on the Supreme Court, just on the Supreme Court's website itself, on the docket. That it shows you what court cases that they're doing and stuff.
right.
Okay. Well, that's the main thing. I'm sorry I didn't get to you last week. I not like I didn't try, but boy, you were busy last week.
Yeah. All righty. Well,
Okay. Congrats on the truck. I've got a Toyota I've had since 2003, almost 300,000 miles. She still runs like a top.
oh yeah,
Toyota is awesome.
I've had quite a few Toyotas, and I wish I still had them all, but I had to let them go for various reasons. But I had a 2001 Camry back. That 2001 Camry I had was like a tank. I mean, that thing was never going to go.
Oh, well, I've got a 97 Avalon that we've had in the family for quite a while, too, originally bought by my grandmother.
My
Yeah, them
dad,
Toyotas are pretty good and very, very little maintenance.
just get the oil change, tire rotation, you good to go.
Okay, well, hopefully things will work out. They'll work out the way we're supposed to work out. We can't stop fighting even if Biden does happen to get in. I read somewhere, now I don't know if you know if this is true or not. I read somewhere that the Republican, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was some delegation that either approves or disapproves the inauguration or something like that. And so far, Biden's inauguration is disapproved. Is that correct? I mean, I've just seen a couple of headlines while I was watching you today.
I don't know anything about it. I have to look into it.
Okay, well, I'll do some more research on that too. Okay, appreciate you taking my call. Hopefully, I'll get to talk to you on Saturday.
All right. Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks. Good night.
All right. Shout out to the caller, and thank you all for being here. Yeah, she had a tube top, so it was just you see right here. You can't see what's going on beneath. She had a shirt on, so it wasn't nothing weird going on. Alrighty, and let me see what else we got going on. Let's get to some more calls. The number to call 434-658-1220. 816 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh yes, this is Letitia from Missouri.
Alrighty, what's going on?
Okay, yeah. I just want to say, before 2020, I never really paid attention to politics and whatnot, but watching your show has been an eye opener for me. But I just had one question.
All right.
What do you think about Trump pushing the military to bring out vaccines?
Well, I mean, as long as there's no actual forcing, then it's fine. Because I think one thing about the vaccines is that it's got to be secure, because you don't want the vaccines to just get sent by anybody and then they get adulterated, stuff put in it that shouldn't be in there. You want it to be secure. So if you want it, then you can get it in a secure fashion. But as long as it's not forcing, then I'm cool.
Yeah, hopefully it's not forcible. I mean, I just had a baby or whatnot, and then I don't want him getting it or whatnot. I'm not really trying to get the vaccine, so. Right,
yeah, and I think that when they over in UK they got the vaccine that they're giving out, and they're already talking about, well, don't take it if you have any kind of allergies. I'm like, okay, you guys are already having some problems with the vaccine, so nah, I'm good on that.
Yeah. Okay, and then I have one more question. What about the military coming back from the Middle East? He's pulling a couple of thousands, I think. So do you think that'll be involved with the vaccine enforcement?
Well, I mean, maybe they could be coming back to do that, but I think the main thing is that he's always been talking about troops coming home throughout the entire presidency. Long before the vaccine, he was trying to get troops back, not really trying to engage in any kind of foreign wars. I think it's the first president in a long time to not engage in any new foreign conflict. He's been bringing troops back from Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, etc., Somalia. So that's just part of this whole thing he's been doing throughout his entire presidency, an anti-war president.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's all.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it. No problem.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, I think the military, they're just there to transport the virus, frozen slip. They're there to just transport the vaccine so nothing happens to it. So it's not any kind of problems with the transport of it. Like what's going on with the PlayStation. Have you guys seen what's going on with the PlayStation 5 and some of the graphics cards and all this stuff? Like you got trucks being hijacked on a highway. I'm talking about high speed trucks going on the freeway going 75 miles an hour getting hijacked. So you don't want anything like that to happen, and you don't want anything to get switched, or you don't want any security concerns to arise when you're talking about this vaccine. You want it to be as safe as possible. I'm not going to take it. That's just my particular choice. And it's weird. These liberals talk about my body, my choice all the time when it comes to abortion. And when I say, you know what, I don't want to take the vaccine because I don't really feel safe. I'm not really interested. I don't take a flu shot either, so I'm good. I'm going to just pass, and that's it. Oh, you want to kill grandma. You're just a monster. You're selfish. Wait a minute. My body, my choice, right? Whatever happened to that? But I digress. 312 on the line, I'm speaking to. My body, my choice all the time. 312,
yes,
hello?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Yeah, it's Omar Delgado.
All right, man. What's going on?
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been watching your YouTube channel, like a bunch of the conservative stuff. It's good stuff to see. I'm over here, probably like one of the minority here from Chicago.
All right, man. I appreciate you. So what's happening? What's on your mind?
Oh man, to be honest, what's your expected idea? What might happen with the first batches of vaccines?
Well, I think that it's going to be some problems. There's already been problems over there, and there's already been problems in UK. So that's already been going on. I think there might be some problems over here in the States too. With anything like this, there's going to be some issues. With anything, that's just part of it.
What was the name of that actress? The one from Black Panther 2, right? When she made the video.
Letitia Wright.
And she was getting backlash, right? Even from Don Cheadle?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like that was some weird stuff. And like, I really appreciate you making all the videos. And like, I've been listening to, was it the Tatum Report?
Tatum Report.
Tatum, yeah, Tatum. So yeah, I'll be watching you guys, Steve Crowler. Yeah, man, all that good stuff, man. It's actually really optimistic to see you guys really say the news and everything.
Well, we appreciate that, man. And we couldn't do it without y'all, watching us, getting the word out there. So I thank you for that.
No, definitely. It was like, even when like a bunch of my friends, they're like, "Oh man, this dude is like more conservative now." I was like, "Nah, man, this is just like basic stuff that a bunch of us should be more educated on." So I really appreciate you guys, putting the forefront on the social media platforms. So yeah, no, I gotta admit, man, it's a blessing to talk to you right now.
It's all good, man. I thank you for your support.
Yeah, no, like me and my brother, we be watching your videos every once in a while. I was like, oh shit, he just dropped a new video. Or like the conservative twins and everything. I was like, oh man, these guys are freaking. It's like it's perfect, man. How you guys are setting it up and everything, man. Much appreciation, man. Much appreciation here from the south side of Chicago.
Oh, thank you, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, I won't take that much more time. Yeah, man, you keep doing your thing, man. We'll keep on watching. We'll keep on giving our support too.
All right, now thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, brother.
All righty. Let's get to some more calls here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. And let's go 208 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, 208. Who am I speaking to? Yes, 208.
Hi, this is Terry.
All righty. What's going on?
A whole lot. I wrote down a bunch of things because I'm older and my mind is not 100% here. But Today I was listening to CNN, which I hate, but I went and looked at it, and it was about Hunter Biden. And it was saying that the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office, the IRS criminal investigation, are looking at him for money laundering. The U.S. Attorney in Delaware informed the agents they can move forward. In 2018, they took a pause because the Justice Department ruled a governing investigation, as it is, doesn't interfere with elections, which I find weird 2 years ago. They're looking into activities in China, his business activities, violation of tax and money laundering, income reporting or underreporting, a gift of a 2.8 carat diamond that was given to him in China. He says he gave.
Whoa! Hold on. Pause. You said a 2.8 carat diamond that was given to him in China.
Yep. And it says he said he gave it to some associate. So they're looking at that also to see if he reported it because there's a gift tax on it.
Wow.
So I just find it interesting that they waited till after the election because they've been investigating him for 2 years.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if this would have come out before the election, there's no way Biden would have been given as many votes as he got.
Right.
So anyway, I just found it interesting. So I thought, if you go to CNN, I mean, it's big right there. So I figured, well, that's one that they're going to allow to report. So anyway, so that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you. You have a good night. Bye-bye.
Wow. What was Hunter Biden into? 128 carat diamond, not 128, 2.8 carat diamond. Like, what are you doing? You over there getting jewelry, sir? And I guarantee if you got a diamond in China, you got a straight cubic zirconia or some other kind of random metal. You might have got a plastic. If you got that diamond in China, you get ripped off, period. But I digress. Let's get to some more calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Let me get to it. 859, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony.
Hello, who am I speaking to?
It's Linda.
All righty, what's going on?
Linda from Cincinnati.
All righty.
Hey, well, I'm pretty excited about Texas because it's my home state, even though I'm up here in Ohio. And I'm glad they filed that case, and it sounded pretty interesting.
Yeah,
what do you think?
It definitely sounds promising to me for sure.
Yeah, I watch Viva Frey. I don't know how you pronounce it. He's up there in Canada, but he's an attorney.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen any of his stuff, but they covered it, and he was reading it, and I was just really excited because I was raised in Texas, and it's so different from other places. They talk about our guns, but I used to carry the Constitution in my purse when I was younger, in my 30s, about your age maybe.
Mm.
And they call us fanatics, but I mean, it's just the Constitution, and you're a proud patriot, and we got our troubles like anybody else, but it's just an interesting place to be from.
That's
so
right.
I was really excited to see that they did that. Yeah. God bless Texas.
That's
Come
right.
on.
Absolutely.
Anyway, and I tried to get through the other night to just say I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, I hear what you're saying on the marijuana issue, but I'm kind of disappointed because of the medical aspects. Because I worked in Ohio to, oh Lordy, us grandmas were out there circulating medical marijuana petitions. Mm-hmm. And it kind of forced the state into a corner after Willie Nelson, he backed the initiative, and he always backs those initiatives, and he's from Texas as well now. But I mean, I've seen it. I knew of a kid who was 5 who had terminal lymphoblastic leukemia, and my son, when he was a juvenile, had stage 4 cancer. So I feel for parents who have children and that need some help. They need to be able to try something. So for that reason, I mean, I understand the whole legalization aspect, the slippery slope, but I've watched it cure a terminal kid. That was in 2013. He's still alive. They gave him 6 to 12 months. He was 5. And all he took was the oil because the doctors gave up. They said after the bone marrow transplant, it failed and he went into, he relapsed.
So you be in favor of it you be in favor of it for medical purposes, right?
Yeah, and actually because of what I learned, looking at studies and the U.S. patent held by the National Institute of Health on the medical purposes of marijuana, and it's Schedule 1, just because of all the health benefits I saw and all the patients I met across Ohio, I'm not sure it's not a good preventative medicine. Even juicing the leaves, not the THC. You don't have to activate the THC. But if you juice the leaves, that marijuana plant has hundreds of components. So you can't make it into a pill. And that's why pharmaceuticals are against it. They can't patent it. The plant already existed. I've got a few patents because of my employer. I know that if a prior art exists, you can't patent it. The plant already existed, so they have to isolate a compound, make it into a pill, and then they can make a bunch of money off of it. But they can't make money off a plant. If I can take it in my kitchen, extract it with some alcohol, boil it down, and take the oil for cancer, it runs $1 trillion industry for them. And I just feel like this is all about money, really. And I think people don't really understand the medical aspects of that plant. So, I mean, I was disappointed, but you see I'm back on your live stream tonight listening. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not sure that it's not a good preventative plant as well. Not for the purposes of getting high, but I feel like it.
Well, I mean, I think about it is like this. If you're going to legalize it just in general, people are going to get high on it. If you're going to have medical, that's something different because you got morphine in the hospital. That's legal. That's heroin, really. But you can't just go out and shoot that. You can't go to the corner store and just get that. So I'm not necessarily against it for medical purposes. But when you're talking about just legalized recreationally, you're gonna have a bunch of other effects you didn't intend. You're looking at it from your point of view as far as medical, but now you're going to have other societal effects, and you're also going to have people on the other side of the political aisle that are going to use that to press forward the next thing. It won't just stop right there. It'll be a continuous thing, and you have Oregon where everything is legal, where you could just be outside shooting heroin, smoking meth.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's going to be so. That's my only objection. I'm not even really against necessarily the drug itself. I just look at the bigger picture. That's all.
Well, yeah. And I understand, and when you were asking folks about are they for everything being legal, I'm actually not.
Yeah, but see,
I put marijuana in a different category because of the things I read about it. And it's not just a painkiller. It's not just something that stops tremors.
I got you.
It's not just something I watched it cure a terminal 5-year-old.
I understand.
His mama went rogue. She didn't accept no for an answer. Because even though she was in a legal medical state, she had no access to the oil because her child was 5 and it wasn't covered by Michigan law.
Right. I got you.
So they made it all on the sly. It was all illegal. That boy was cured illegally.
Well,
and that was 2013, and he had 6 to 12 months to live.
All righty.
And it only took 3 weeks.
I got you. I'm going to cut you off right here. I'm sorry, but I got a few more calls on the line.
I'm sorry. I
all right.
gotcha.
Thank you for the call.
Love
I
you,
appreciate
buddy.
you.
Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
All right. So shout out to everybody in here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. It's the number to call, 434-658-1220. Let's get to a few more. 706 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, baby? It's Ben calling you from Georgia.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, man, I just wanted to comment real quick on, the state of the nation in terms of how we look at our fellow Americans. For years, politics has always existed. But in 2020, politics has now become a racial thing. It's ridiculous. It's so beyond ridiculous.
Nah, I hear you. And then, you know, the race stuff that they attach to politics, not even real. It's a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of misinformation to get people to buy into whatever they're being sold.
Yeah, I'm gonna break a personal thing down to you real quick because I'm a disabled vet. I did 10 years in the Navy. I probably served with all kinds of people, you know, people that were naturalized citizens, people that were, you know, just down the block from me somewhere in Georgia or Virginia, wherever. I never, ever in my time ever felt that kind of, you know, just tension while I served ever, because we said, you know, it was the blue and the gold. That's it. That's all we knew. And if, you know, we served with some other branch, okay, you know, we're all brothers and sisters in arms. It's not about anything else. Stop looking at the skin color and get back to being Americans, because that's what we are. It's not about anything more than that.
Right, exactly. That's what it's about. You know, just being an American. You know, like that's what I really identify as. All the black, white, you know, that's fine, but I'm an American.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and you and V-Tater, man, God bless y'all. I'm one of the many that have been red pilled this year. I grew up conservative in a very, you know, Pentecostal religious home down south. And, you know, as a young man in the military, I said, you know, I'm a man. I'm going to do my own thing. That may have been how I was raised, but I got to find my own, you know, way and values. And, I turned my back on a lot of things. And it was hard coming to terms with, you know, in those years that, you know, just like I turned my back, a lot of people in this country and leaders turned their back on our values. And it's sad, but I really hope there's some kind of awakening and people realize that, you know, the radicalization, you know, the hating of Jesus, God, and anything that, you know, stands for this country, it's got to stop. People need to realize the people that speak in these things don't have your interest in mind. They don't care about, you know, the poor folks that, you know, are always mentioned that are being gunned down in Chicago and across the nation. They don't care about these children or, you know, these people that are living, you know, paycheck to paycheck that, you know, the politicians supposedly are going to get a check for these folks. They don't care about these folks. And I really pray every day that people will just understand Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, these are just labels. We need to put them to the side and look, you know, just look at each other and say, we all are in this nation, and we got to look at each other as Americans. Nothing more. Nothing more.
There you go, man. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, and I'm going to close real quick with one of my experiences when I was a very young man in the Navy. I had to catch a ride from Meridian, Mississippi to Jackson to catch my flight to, you know, go to my final duty station. And I rode. I was the only person in this cab because, I just had to suck it up that way. And I rode with a 60-year-old gentleman. This is back in the early 2000s. And it was kind of an awkward ride being a, you know, young white man. But, you know, we had that commonality of being from the South. So, we spoke some of the same language, but we had different experiences. I grew up in a military family, all military. So all I know is, you know, military and service and that type of lifestyle. This man told me straight up, he grew up in, you know, the segregated Jim Crow South. And, you know, we were able to find the commonality that, you know, despite where we grew up, where we live, our backgrounds, whatever we do for a living, we human beings, we're Americans at the end of the day. I shook that man's hand and I said, thank you for doing what you do for your community. Obviously, he thanks me more for my service. And, I mean, I really reflect on the experience that if somebody, just me and him, could relate and come down to that, that's all we need to do. That's all we need to do is just recognize that we all people, we all God's children, and lead with that. You don't have to love each other down to every single thing, but we can't be dividing this nation over nonsense. Thank you, ABL. I'm glad I got through, and thank you for letting me get that off my chest. You know.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Uh-huh.
All righty, great call. Let's get some more calls here. 978-979, you're on the line. I'm speaking to you.
Hey, what's going on, ABL?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
I just want to tell you, I like your show, everything that you do, and just want to get a few things that about this whole fake virus that they're trying to push. Currently, I work for a hospital, and there's so many things that I see that fraudulent is going on that need to be exposed. Don't want to say what hospital I work for just for the sake of my job, but for one, a few weeks ago, we had a guy that came in, got shot 6 times in the chest, with a chest, upper chest area, and guess what they said he died of?
The virus.
COVID-19. Another
Wow.
lady, she came in for leukemia, and guess what they said she died of?
Wow. No, really? They said she had the virus too, but she had leukemia?
They said she died of the virus. The sad part about it, the body that they had the body that they said had came in, they didn't know that the lady was actually a friend of mine that I've been knowing since 2008. It was his mother-in-law that had passed away of leukemia, but they said she died of COVID-19.
So you already knew the history because that's your your people. You already knew the whole story. So when they said the virus, you're like, what? Nah, that ain't what happened because I already know what was going on.
Yes, and I was shocked that they labeled her as a COVID-19 victim, but lo and behold, she was had leukemia for the past 2 years, but they sit there and say that she died of COVID-19, and actually I started crying when I released her body because I knew that was full of crap because I knew, I've been on this job, since 2007, 2008.
That's terrible. That's
and
really
this
terrible.
whole virus, I'm telling you, man, I release bodies every single day, and they are lying saying that it's majority Hispanics and blacks that are dying of this virus. That is a lie. The majority of people who bodies I release every day are older white males or older white females. They are lying about this virus. Our ICU units, and we have one of the biggest county hospitals in the city of Houston, and for them to sit there and say that we are that is affecting Hispanic American and African and blacks, that's a lie. Our ICU units are not as large as they say it is. They're empty, and there's not coronavirus patients that are in there.
Wow. Because you're watching the mainstream media, they're telling you that, ICUs across the country filling up, and the cases are skyrocketing, it's out of control, and all this and that. That's what they tell you. But from your point of view, from where you at, that's not happening.
When I do my rounds upstairs, our units are not full how they say they are. They're empty, and majority of people that are in there, they're in there for other ailments that they came in for, but it's not coronavirus.
Right. I mean, it makes sense to me. From the very beginning, I was thinking this, but you're making it all just very plain, man. So I appreciate that.
I have so many stories I can tell you, sir, but I know the other call is waiting, but I've been calling back and forth.
Well,
I even sent you an email.
I got a little bit of time, so give me one story if you want to about what's going on with this.
Well, this virus, where I come to work, the vast majority of people that come in, I say good 99% of people that come in to get tested walk out on their own, no symptoms, anything. The little 1% that comes in, they get treated and they're gone.
Right.
It's not like people are dying at our hospital every single day of the virus. That are false lies that the media they're pushing. Secondly, the week that that the media claimed that Joe Biden had won the election, if you notice, there was no talk about the coronavirus.
Yep.
All of a sudden, when they started investigating this election, all of a sudden, the numbers are all high, and the numbers are so high that ever before. And I'm like, wow, why y'all keep lying about these dang numbers? Every single day they want to say that the numbers are high, or the numbers are higher than they ever seen before. But no, that is a false narrative that they're pushing. I hate that my kids have to go to school online. Like I told my wife, they're going back to school come January because they're not learning anything on this whole Zoom that they're doing right now. But
do you have any kids? Do you have any kids that come into the hospital with the virus?
The kids that come in, they walk in on their own, free. No kids have died. The numbers are very low. The kids that come in with the virus, and the kids that does come in, they're talking normal like me and you are talking right now.
Right.
They are fine.
Right. And
my personal opinion, they just lying about these numbers, just try to get President Trump out of office. And as soon as they feel they realize that President Trump been telling the truth, the whole thing about this whole school, everything going back to normal. But it's just false lies to get him out of office.
Yep, that's what it seemed like to me. Yep.
And like I said, from day one, if you notice, the week of the election, when they lied and said Biden won, no talk about Corona. But as soon as they start investigating this election, now all of a sudden, every single day, they want to say, oh, the coronavirus is on high. But how come I live in the biggest city in the world? Well, not the world, but the America. But our numbers is not high. They are lying. I'm saying they are lying since day one. They trying to keep this president in office. He has done more for blacks, Hispanics, and Democrats are sad. They're mad, and they're trying to get this man out of office. But I know you have other calls, sir. I'm just nervous right now talking to you. I talked to you a few months ago about the Malia Davis story, but I'm just, it was a pleasure talking to you. And, man, I just can't wait till all this is over with.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
All right. Great call. I'm hearing people that, they're in hospitals, that, what you see on television, what you see from the mainstream media is different than what people actually say that are in the field, that are not on television and things of that nature. You understand? So, yeah, shout out to the caller. Great information. 919, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, you're speaking to Harold Delancey from Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right, man. What's going on?
Well, what I wanted to say to you was there was a 5-year-old shot in D.C. last week. And there was a 12-year-old shot and killed in Philadelphia, shot through the door. I didn't see Kamala Harris or Joe Biden going to visit their families.
Nope. Sure didn't.
And the bottom line is this. My daughter lives in the 7th District in Baltimore, and she voted for that knucklehead Kwame, whatever his name was, who had 5 terms before the last loser came in, which is Elijah Cummings.
Yeah.
She lost by 100, Miss Klasick, she lost by 100,000 votes. How can you lose by that many votes with your neighborhood looking like that for the last 37 years? It's ridiculous. I don't know. Black people get exactly what they deserve. You keep putting in these losers, and you're expecting a different result. And look at America. Just look at any major city. Pick one. They all look the same.
Yeah, I mean, I have no argument against you, man. If you keep on doing the same thing, it's producing the same results. At a certain point, you got to stop and be like, well, this is not working. We need to do something else.
And I'm tired of these politicians glorifying these criminals that get shot by the police. If you look at one thing in common with all these gentlemen that got in conflict with the police, they're unemployed and they got extensive criminal records. And we immortalize these guys once they get shot or killed. They shot a 5-year-old baby in D.C. last week. Not one word from Black Lives Matter, politicians, Sharpton, the regular crew. Not one word from them.
Right. I mean, it never
do.
You
have a good night, and you have a good night, and thank you for taking my call, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right, great call. You know what I mean? Straight to it. Very, very good call. But yeah, these cities, looking the same. It's like, if you keep doing the same old thing, how are you going to get anything that's different? It doesn't make any sense. And, Kim Klasick tried. She really did. So they can't say, oh, well, you guys aren't really there. The Republicans, you don't really there. It's only the Democrats that are there. Nah, we're there. But you got to be able to, vote for us. Now I want to know, who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, I'm killing the... How you doing?
I'm doing
David from North Carolina. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, man. You want me to play devil's advocate and debate you about something? I mean,
all right. What are we debating?
No, nothing. Whatever you want to debate about. But hey, let me tell you, we're about to see a big move of the hand of God, and Trump's going to be the president. But only Christian people or people like you and other people are going to see it. Then Democrats and knuckleheads, they're not going to agree with it. I mean, they haven't agreed with it yet for 4 years. Why should they now?
Oh, yeah, they're not going to agree, especially since the mainstream media has been filling their head up with what they want to hear, talking about Joe Biden. And if it goes the other direction, they're not really going to understand how to process that.
Yeah, but I don't know if you remember, I've been telling you all along, I'm a constitutionalist expert. I mean, I know all the way what's going on. And I'm just Joe Citizen because I've been paying attention for the last 30 years or 40 years because I turned 18 in 1979. Okay. From that point on to now, next year I'll be 60 years old. I know all the ins and outs of whatever they're trying to push on America, and they don't want this. They don't even know what they want, because if they got it, they know. They don't know, but me and you know that once they got it, they're going to be squished like grapes. Once they got the power, they don't care about us. They don't care about anybody but themselves. Am I right?
No, I'm with you, man. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to the callers tonight. I can tell you about anything. The COVID-19, it's been proven. Where you live at, you can go out without a face mask. Where I'm at, I can go about. But I play their little games. I'll go into the store, get what I want. I wear the mask. I don't wear the mask. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just functioning in the way it goes. But once the thing hits the fan here, that the Democrats do not get, and I believe God put Trump in office. I really believe that, and I believe that in past, okay, but the truth will set us all free.
There you go, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
ABL, thank you for what you do. And all your callers, I just love them. But if you ever have a question, I'll come on there. And I'm glad I got in before Ivan did.
Right.
I noticed you had a young caller that agrees with Ivan sometimes. But all the other young callers, they're right on point. Them young guys, I can't believe these 15, 16, or 14-year-olds and 16-year-olds.
It's excellent,
that
man.
That just makes my heart.
Well,
that makes my heart bleed.
Thank
you, brother.
Thank you for your call.
Good night.
All righty. Shout out to the caller. And thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoy what you're hearing so far, give the video a thumbs up. Hit that like button. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and subscribe right now. And click the bell while you're here so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. All right, Skype caller, what's going on?
Hey, man. How you doing, buddy?
Everything's good, man. About yourself?
You got some great callers today.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, my word. Yes. Oh, so good. Entertaining stuff. Yeah, shout out to North Carolina. Thanks for all the guys calling from North Carolina. Couple of quick things. One, Cynthia Johnson just got canned. Did you hear about that?
Now, did she get canned or did she get like?
She did.
Oh, okay.
She got her seat removed as of I think 3 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so she got well, here, let me read it. This is really interesting. Michigan State Representative Cynthia Johnson, Black Democratic lawmaker who faced lynching threats and harassment following an oversight committee hearing last week, has been punished by House Republican leaders for a video she posted to Facebook on Tuesday. Republicans say that in the video, she appears to threaten supporters of the president. Johnson has been stripped of her committee assignments, including her position on the House Oversight Committee. So there's a little justice for that. That's excellent. Good to see. But yeah, the whole election thing is going nuts. You saw her reaction in the Michigan hearing, right? Like,
yeah, I saw that. It was crazy. And, this whole thing where she got the lady to say her full name and spell it, is like, are you trying to dox her? Are you trying to put her out there?
She's trying to dox her.
Yeah.
She's trying to dox her. Didn't work. I don't know. Maybe it did, but feel sorry for that lady if it did. But considering all of this that's going on, because the number of times that judges have thrown out these cases without even hearing anything, they don't want to hear the charges, because if they hear the charges, they'll have to investigate them. So What do? The media, what do? They just mock them, right? But considering all that, Texas has now, how many people have joined Texas? Do you know?
Last I checked, it was 19 states in total, but that may or may not be.
Have those been confirmed?
Yeah, that's confirmed. Like it was 17, then it went to 19. I'm not really sure where it's at right now.
I know when Crowder woke up this morning, he had tweeted 8. Or one of the guys on his show tweeted 8 for him, and then he had to go back and pull it in because only 4 or 5 had been confirmed at that point. 19.
Yeah, that's the last number I saw.
Right. So as one of your callers before said, the Supreme Court of the United States, or supremecourt.gov, has on their website the arguments that are up there. So if you guys want to check that out, it's just www.supremecourt.gov. And I don't know, we'll see if it gets heard or not. But considering all this that's going on, because Texas is trying to push through, explain that to me a little bit. I think I understand, but explain for our, your listeners here, what's going on here.
Well, the Texas lawsuit, I think it was started by the Attorney General of Texas.
Yeah.
And other states have joined on. So all their attorney generals have joined on. So the attorney general joined on, and then that means, okay, now the state joins on as part of the lawsuit. And I think the lawsuit centers around the proliferation of mail-in voting, like how it's so widespread beyond where it was supposed to be. There's more to the lawsuit, but that's what I saw the guy speak about it. The actual attorney general of Texas, he spoke about it on television earlier, and he was saying that, I know I'm missing some things, but that's the crux of it.
Yeah, I think it boils down to it. Mail-in voting, in as much as they allowed it, actually breaks Pennsylvania constitutional codes.
Okay.
So he said what you did is you allowed a judge, the judicial branch, to decide something that the legislative branch needs to decide. And in doing so, you've broken your own laws, thereby subjecting us, i.e. Texas, to a false, a president who is falsely elected. And if it were just one state, which even then, it has to be heard, because it's a state suing another state. It has to be heard by this, the Supreme Court. It can't go to a lower court.
Right.
But now that other states have joined on, they have called Pennsylvania, Georgia, and to actually make a response. And I think it was by today. I'm not sure, but either way, it has to be investigated now.
Of court action related to the election, even if you get past the inauguration and let's say they have Joe Biden in there, there'll still be a bunch of back and forth about the election.
I think there will be a lot of back and forth about the election. I think it's going to end up coming out because of all the other things that the media is not showing stuff right now. Like this Chinese video that, the professor that popped up, and he's talking about how we have people in the upper echelons, and then the Fang stuff that came out. There was an article in the Epoch Times about a speech that I think is a general from the communist military branch, which is not subject to the communist or not subject to the Chinese government itself, but it's actually a branch of the Communist Party. And this general had come out saying, wow, why are we doing all this stuff in America? Because they have the land, but we can't go anyplace else. We want land, and we want, and it's all kind of conspiratorial stuff. But then, yeah, I don't know. It's conspiracy when you start linking the things together, and then you start looking at who is actually counting these votes. Where do these things go to? It's going to go someplace. And if it just dies down immediately, if Biden is put in office, I have a good feeling that, it's going to disappear magically.
Right. That's right, man. Well, hey, thank you for your call.
Yeah, sorry, I went on for a little bit there, but it's always good hearing you. I like listening to your take on stuff. Keep going, man. Keep working. Keep fighting a good fight.
Appreciate you, man. Will do.
See you, dude.
Alrighty. Let's get to some more here. Let's go. Now I'm 1-2, you know, who am I speaking to?
What's up, ABL? Hello, my fellow patriot.
Hey, what's going on? How's everything?
Oh, it's good. I'm down here in Georgia. My girlfriend's already gotten 4 mail-in ballots for the special election coming up here on the 5th.
Now, are they for different ones, or are they for her?
No, all to her name in her mailbox.
Wow.
But she's not the only one. My other buddy Joe got 4. I mean, once again, I'm not sure how many more we're going to get before January 5th. You know what I'm saying?
Right, of course. I mean,
hey, but that last caller was amazing, and it's all interesting in terms of the Constitution, the law, what the process is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to see the outcome in this case, because this is really important. All these ballots just flying around, it's not secure. I mean, because some people have like mailboxes where there's no kind of security, no key on it. I can just come up to somebody's mailbox, take their ballot, fill it out, and send it. How is anybody going to know that it wasn't you that sent it, but it was me? And how often does that actually happen throughout the United States? There's so many holes in the security of the mail-in voting, then it's not even funny. It's different when you have a system where you request a ballot. That's easier to manage. But when you just send out ballots and nobody even asked for them, that's just a disaster waiting to happen.
I mean, I understand. Here's another interesting thing though, because once again, as you got all the alphabet agencies, I'm not really sure why the mother and daughter that are in all these videos in Georgia, I don't remember their names, the blonde braided hair girl and her mom did the Facebook Live or whatever, where she filmed herself with the fraud, which doesn't make sense to me. I mean, Kemp is so complicit in all this stuff too. I don't care if he's a Republican. If you're a rhino and you're a piece of garbage, you can be on both sides of the aisle.
I hear you.
But that one lady with the thing too in the Michigan hearing, I'm glad she got fired or whatever, because you can't just go be doing and saying all this stuff. But everyone gets kind of rules for me, not for thee kind of deal. People get treated different. All the new YouTube rules that came out, it's crazy. I don't know that we're going to be able to just have an open discussion about what we're discussing right now. I feel like these are precipice bad things to discuss. We're just talking openly.
Yeah, I mean, they got these, a lot of these rules are just kind of arbitrary. You have no idea how they're going to enforce it. They can enforce it one way to where you could pretty much say what you want, and if they enforce it a different way, you can't say anything at all. So it's just really weird.
But real quick, to the AG bar in Durham, there was something that happened, I want to say in October, where William Barr did something with the special counsel, and Durham was limited to what he could do as a prosecutor in his state. But Durham elected him in charge of special counsel back in October. It was, I kind of think, quiet because, you know, we're playing games on a different level, never interfere with enemy when they're, like, destroying themselves. So Durham has the ability to prosecute in all 50 states now, which he didn't have, like, back in October.
Okay.
Do you know anything about that? Because everyone says Barr and Durham ain't doing nothing.
I'm not really sure about that. I don't really know.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's an interesting thing that you know what I'm saying? Like, optics are very important. Like, what's going on, what's not going on. Don't look over here. There's nothing to see. Like, no voter fraud, no widespread voter fraud. We fact-checked it. They weren't suitcases. So it's a false claim.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everything you do, man. I mean, the Constitution is going to be what ultimately wins this battle. That's all I got to say. The dates and times, that would be my other question to you. What do you think about, like, because they say, I guess, Electoral College was supposed to be like today or something, and then you got January 6th, you obviously got the 20th, you got different dates that they say things have to happen.
Well, you got the electors, they meet, I think that's next week, the 14th or the 15th, and then Congress meets about the electors on January 7th. So we'll see what's going on with that. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Anthony.
All right, now. All righty. Let's get to a few more. The number to call, 434-658-1220. And let's do... Okay. 609, you're the line. Who am I speaking to? 609, hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello. This is Corey from New Jersey, from Pennsylvania.
All righty, man. What's going on?
So, I'm sorry. I did not realize that the stream's not 100% live. I was a little behind. But,
yeah, the stream, hold on. Just pause for a moment. The stream is live, but it's going to be a delay, so don't watch the TV. And also, you kind of far from the phone. Am I on speaker?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the AirPods. Let me take those out.
All right.
All right, man. So let me start over. I was not expecting to actually get a hold of you. First of all, ABL, dude, I have such a profound respect for you. So I appreciate what you do. But I wanted to say on the topic of all this stuff, a lot of people bring up like the media and stuff like that, right? You know, and of course it completely controls people's perceptions. We all focus on that part. But man, like the stuff that people also talk about but doesn't get discussed nearly as much, I feel like, is just the way that universities have turned into just like a indoctrination zone, you know?
Oh yeah, big time.
I attended a university here in Pennsylvania, had a great experience at it. I grew as a person. It was incredible. But, man, they feed nothing but propaganda in class. Like, propaganda might be too strong a word, but, man, they really do not give a fair shake of anything on, real debate, real discussion. And I got to say, like, the funny thing is, the particular university I attended, they actually have a campaign going on right now where they're saying, you know what, we want to have a common, way of looking at things between all of us. We want to be able to reach an area where, we all understand each other. But that's not really what they want to do. They just want everyone to think the same way they do. And it's so disheartening because, like I said, I had a great experience at the university, and it's crazy to see, man. Do you feel like that's a big aspect, like right alongside, or do you feel like that's a little bit more like a factor that's farther back?
I mean, as far back as like to what, like just in general in society.
What do you think that stands on the totem pole? Would you say that's right up there with the mainstream media?
Oh yeah, it's right there because, and really it goes from like K through 12 all the way. I'm talking about education in general, K through 12 and then college, and and the bad part is that a lot of people, they go to K through 12 for free. Not literally free. They don't pay for it out of their pocket, but they pay for it in taxes. But anyway, it's generally free K through 12. You get indoctrinated there, and then you go to college and you pay a bunch of money. You might pay a whole mortgage with no house. to get the very same thing you get K through 12, a bunch of indoctrination, because the same people that are teaching there went through the whole K through 12 process, got brainwashed there, and it just is more of the same. And then sometimes you might not necessarily be from a place where the K through 12 is that bad. You might be from a small town. You got Miss Johnson in your kindergarten class, and she's right there when you graduate from high school when you're 18 or whatever. But then once you go off to, the big city and you go to college, you got the SJW, the crazy, ridiculous people. You go off as a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid. You come back as an Antifa member. It's terrible.
Yeah, you're spot on. The only other thing I would say there is, it's so tough, and I'm sure you feel partially this way because, I went through a period of time where I just assumed all that stuff was truthful, and I was a big part of the problem, and it's so scary. Like I'm still around the campus sometimes, and around a lot of people involved with the university, and like, man, you can't really have a discussion. It doesn't exist anymore, and it's scary in a way. And me and my buddy, the last thing I'll say, my best friend that I met in college, he's one of the most compassionate people I've ever met in my life. He's the only reason, and he's like the only person that can keep me sane at this point when it comes to this kind of stuff. I try not to think about it too much, but man, it's when you're in a certain environment, you don't have any diversity of opinion, and if we don't find a way to fix it, it's going to keep going farther in the one direction. But anyway, ABL, I'll let you go. Sorry, I was a little out of sorts at the beginning of the call, but again, thank you, man. Thanks so much for everything that you do, and keep it up.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Of course.
All right, great call. Yeah, academia is terrible. K through 12 and college. College is the worst though, and like I said, the bad part is that K through 12 generally is free. You're not paying for it out your pocket. You just pay for it in taxes. But college, you might actually pay some tax money to college that you pay for, which is crazy. You're paying tax money to college, and you got to pay for it out of your pocket. A mortgage on your back with no house. The debt I see from college, I went to college, but I kind of knew what the game was from the beginning. I just kind of, I did a little bit of research when I was a kid. I just kind of understood that college wasn't really all of that, and you might not necessarily need it. My whole purpose was to get trained to be a graphic designer so I can do that. That's what I really got from college. And also I met a lot of good people. And I was a graphic designer. I still am a graphic designer. I'll do all my thumbnails and everything. I do most of my thumbnails. On a website, I got my wife doing some thumbnails. She does a great job with the thumbnails, so shout out to her. But yeah, I do all my editing and everything for my videos. I learned those skills from college because I was able to have hands-on training. But that's where I learned. I learned those skills at a community college. And I paid that out of my own pocket from working at Old Country Buffet. And I had Pell Grants for times where I didn't have enough money to be able to cover it from what I saved. And I was paying rent when I was living at home with my mom at that age, at like 17, 18. I paid my first semester of college when I was 17. When I graduated high school, I had a summer job working at Old Country Buffet, and I saved enough money to pay for my first semester of community college, paid in cash, books and everything, But anyway, I got what I needed from the community college. And when I went to the 4-year college, the education was actually worse. I went from TCC, if you know about Virginia, I went from TCC, Tidewater Community College, to Old Dominion University, ODU. And it was better at TCC. The graphic design center was upgraded. It had better computers, better staff, smaller class sizes, more classes that actually were pertinent to what I was trying to do. ODU, they had this glorified computer lab. It was terrible. These little baby desks I feel like I was back in high school. The community college, you had these big desks with big iMacs and a big room with natural light, reclining chairs. Like, it was like kind of where I'm sitting at right now, like comfy, like you at the house. But the actual 4-year college cost more, you had less. It was a scam. And the indoctrination was real. The one thing I always say, I'll tell the story a million times and tell it one more time. When I was going from TCC to ODU, I was told that it'd be a seamless process, that my credits would transfer, that I'd go from graduating with not bachelor's, with an associate's degree, and I would get straight into the Art 3 program. But I had to submit a project to get into Art 3, when I got there, that's what they told me. I'm like, okay, red flag right away. I was told one thing, that it'd be seamless and I can just go ahead and get in. Then I got to submit some kind of project, even though I was like top of my class in design. But anyway, I submit my project, and it had like these little toy guns on it. Cause what it was is like I drew the project with vector illustration. Okay, basically like squares and triangles. Just, I drew it on the computer with my mouse. And it was a beautiful piece. It was like 8-bit video game type graphics. Had like little toy guns on it. And then these two men that were probably married to each other back then, civil partners or whatever. Nothing against anybody being gay. I'm just saying that they might be kind of like lefties. But anyway, they told me that my piece was unacceptable because of the guns in it. So when I saw that Santa Claus talking about no Nerf guns, I got triggered right away. I thought about when I was in college, and I thought about how that boy would feel having this man tell him that, when it's just like, yo, you supposed to be Santa Claus, man. I was told that Santa Claus would grant me my wish, would grant me my gift. And he's talking about no guns. And I was told by the guidance counselors, by the administrators, by everybody that I met at TCC and ODU, that I could just graduate and go in and hear these two knuckleheads talking about, oh, we don't like your project because it has guns in it. Oh, man, I was hot. Firecracker, fire alarm, I'm hot, heated. If I was light-skinned, I'd be turning fire truck red, basically. But yeah, that's when I realized at that point, that's when I really realized, oh, this is a scam. This is a scam. I'm out. And I dropped out shortly thereafter. I left. But I was straight, because when I dropped out, I already started making money doing my business. So it didn't even really matter. I ain't care. So that's my story. If you're going to go to college, anybody out there listening, any kids listening, if you're going to go to college, make sure that you have a game plan. If you want to be a doctor, lawyer, or whatever, if you have to have college in order to progress in your career path, then I understand. If you don't have to have college, if it's not really required, then don't do it. All you're going to do is waste a bunch of money. And if you're going to go to college, go to an in-state school. Don't go to no out-of-state school and get a mortgage on your back with no house. All right. Or you might say, hey, you know what? I'm an illegal alien and I'm going to go to school in California. You might get in-state tuition. You could live in New York City and get in-state tuition. But that's a different story. I digress. Anyway. All right. I got time for a couple more. All right. Calling line speaker to 517.
Yeah. How you doing, ABL?
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
Cherry Doctor. I'm the guy from Jackson, Michigan, where they had the 112-year-old guy who voted.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just thought I'd call you. I've been sitting here tonight watching you, and I heard that one lady tell you that she carries a Constitution in her pocket. Well, I carry my Miranda rights in my pocket. I got a little card that's got my Miranda rights on the back of it, and whenever I get pulled over, I hand that and my driver's license to the police officer. It kind of makes them mad when they throw it back at you, but they don't give you no hassle.
I mean, what can they really do?
Yeah, it's got everything on it. I have the right to remain silent. I have the right to have someone come and secure my property. You have no right to take my property from me. If I'm being arrested, please advise me of it so I can have my property secured. I only get all bent out of shape. I thought I'd call you, though. I had a couple of sneaky ideas. Did you see that thing with the lady with the restaurant? And they had the movie set outside a restaurant. And it's okay for them to eat, but she can't have a restaurant to feed her customers. Did you happen to see that?
Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy. That was totally crazy.
Okay.
And it just displays the hypocrisy.
Yeah, and now I got a great idea for everybody on Facebook and Twitter. Anytime you see something like that happening next time, call in for a free meal. Tell everybody to come on down and eat. It's free food in the middle of the street.
Right. There you go.
Hundreds of people would show, like a flash mob. Everybody show up, and the people who are putting on the thing, what can they do? They can't stop you from eating.
Right. No, they can't.
But I thought that'd be the way to stop them from doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely a good strategy.
Yeah, they damn sure wouldn't. They'd think about it twice. They have to hire guards to guard it. They'd better wear masks.
Right.
Yeah, but I live in Jackson, Michigan, and we got signs all over our town that say "Home of the Republican Party," the birthplace of the Republican Party, and we don't even got a Republican Party office.
Wow, that's crazy.
We got 2 Democrat offices though. And did you notice something else I noticed? Did you notice when Joe Biden first started his tour, what it said on the side of his bus?
You said it one more time now?
Yeah, did you see what it said on the side of his bus on Joe Biden's bus?
No, what did it say?
It was the No Shenanigans tour. Remember that?
Yeah. Wow.
You know, I thought of a way to stop this dumb election thing, too. If everybody goes to the Secretary of State and they issue you a card, a voter's card, it's good for 4 years, just like your driver's license. Against any elections, you walk in the door, they punch your card. If it's got a hole in it, you voted already.
It seems so simple, doesn't it? I mean, that should be a really easy solution, but they don't want to do things like that because if they do something like that, then it would be too difficult to try and do some fraud, and they want to have the door open for fraud, in my opinion.
Well, I also figured out how to get the exact. I can get the exact military vote in less than 48 hours. Every military pieces. I mean, I was spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, and everybody in the military on the 15th and the 30th, you go in front of the paymaster and you get your check. He hands you your money. They don't give you a check. They don't put it in your bank account. They hand you your money. I went through it for 4 years. Every time we got a pay roster, you walked up, signed for your money, they handed you your wad of cash, and you walk out the door.
Right.
Okay, if they had a box standing there that had 2 switches in it. On the left is Joe Biden. On the right is Donald Trump. Before you leave after signing for your paycheck, push the person you want to be president. Within 1 day, we'll know who the president is. It don't have to be electronic. It's just 2 numbers when the box comes up. 800 to 8, you know? Sorry, Joe, but you lied. The military can be counted. They can be counted quick.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, you were in service, right?
No, I wasn't. No.
Well, when you have to show up on payday, you show up and get your paycheck. I mean, now they will service you and put it in your account. But anybody who's on base, you have to show up to paymaster. I mean, there's a warrant officer sitting right there, and you sign for your money.
Ah, okay. Wait, man.
Did you happen to see the logo? Did you happen to see the D20 logo?
D20?
The Democrats. Yeah.
No.
Well, they got a logo. It's just a big blue D with a star with a red arrow in it, with a 2 and
Oh,
a
yeah,
0.
yeah. I saw that. Yeah, it looks kind of suspicious.
Yeah, the United States in the middle of the 0.
Yeah, it looks very suspicious.
Well, I heard a rumor that it stands for Death to America.
I won't be surprised. You know what? And they probably had that designed by somebody, and the designer.
Yeah, the D is supposed to be a bow and arrow, and the object coming out of the star is the arrow. And then it's got a number 2, and then a 0 with the United States in the middle of it.
Interesting. I had to see that logo again, but I do remember seeing that logo. It does look very suspicious, and I wouldn't doubt that's what they wanted to mean. But hey, thank you for your call. I got to wrap it on up here. Thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, ABL. Have a good one.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to the caller, and thank you all for calling in. If you couldn't get through this time, it's not my fault. You got to blame the white man. I was looking at something while I was talking to the caller. Speaking about this virus and the vaccine. So what's happening right now, I'm gonna tell you what's going on right now. What's happening is that UK are the guinea pigs. That's just what it is. Anytime you got a virus that just comes out and they push it out there, people take it. The first ones that take it are beta testing it. I don't want to be no beta tester. I don't want to be no guinea pig. Now, here's something I just saw. Maybe you guys have already seen it. This is on dailymail.com, but it's everywhere. It's not just one place where it's at. I'll put it on the screen. 4 trial volunteers who got Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine developed Bell's palsy, but FDA denies that the temporary facial paralysis was caused by the shot. Now, Bell's palsy is like when you have your face kind of like go to one side and you can't move it, or maybe your eyes droops like that and you can't move it. It's facial paralysis, you know. And I think hold on, let me see if I can get a good picture of it. Yeah, here's kind of like how it looks. You know, that might be what happens to you. Something like that. I think who was that? The guy that played the Mountain or whatever. What was that? Game of Thrones. I don't really watch these shows, so you gotta pardon me. He had the same thing, Bell's palsy. And matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up right quick. I'm not sure if he still has it. Thor Bjornsson. Yeah, I think that's his name, Thor Bjornsson. And here it is. He doesn't really have it that bad anymore, but he's kind of like just kind of scrunching his face up a little bit. So that's kind of how, you know, your face is just not really, you know. So my thing is, okay, if they got Bell's palsy right after the shot, and you talking about something, oh nah, you know, that's just generally what happens with people. That's normal. They were saying that the rate of Bell's palsy is in line with what the general population has. But if that's the case, then why didn't they get Bell's palsy until after the shot? Jim Ross had it. Okay. Yeah. So my thing is, if they're already having problems, like why would a vaccine cause Bell's palsy? What is the avenue to which that actually happens? You see what I'm saying? What else is it causing that we don't see yet? There could be some long-term effects of this that we won't know until years later. There's like, at one point I thought it was okay for people to smoke while they're pregnant, but obviously that's not true anymore. How long until we find out all the effects of the vaccine? I'm straight. I'm good. I am good. All right. Temporary. Okay. So what else is, you know, what else is actually happening that it could be permanent? You understand what I'm saying? If it causes that temporarily, the question is why? And what else is it causing? And then they're talking about, oh, don't take it if you have allergies. Allergies? You could be allergic to cat hair or peanut butter or something, you know, or milk. Like, I can't drink milk, just straight milk. I can't drink it. So if I have a milk allergy, should I not be drinking or having the vaccine because it could cause any kind of what problems with me having allergies cause with the vaccine? They don't know. They're trying it out. And if you have any kind of just adverse effects, report it. And then they say, all right, well, if you have this, don't do it. If you got that, don't do it. Because they're figuring it out on the fly. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not trying to be part of a thing where they're just trying to figure it out on the fly. Flying by the seat of their pants with the whole situation. I'm straight. All right. Somebody says, the only time I'm having is whiskey. Hilarious. Hey, go ahead, man. Do it that way. Shot that whiskey is much safer than this unknown situation. They don't even know what's in it, really. All right. So thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience on the internet. If you enjoyed the show, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. And I'm going to read the super chats and then I'll wrap it on up, put the bow on the top. Let's go back to where I was before. Let me see. Shout out to, hold on, let me see. Lady B0511 who says, thanks for all the hard work you do. Dropping truth bombs, Trump 2020. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Bryce Clump who says, Montana was the biggest middle finger to the U.S. when we joined and stayed that way since. We will stay that way. There we go. Tom Sawyer says, if Nancy Pelosi becomes de facto president and Trump wins after the fact, does that satisfy him a second term or can he run again? And I think you called in and that was a really good question you had. And I have no idea still. Thank you to Fish and Chimps who says, sent you a tweet of a 2018 video where Chunk Yogurt, aka Chunk Yogurt from Young Turks, details evidence of voter fraud in North Carolina. His evidence is the same as Republicans in 2020. Watch the video and laugh at the hypocrisy. Yeah, it's funny how Chuck Yeager can say that there's voter fraud in North Carolina in 2018 during the midterms, yes. But now all of a sudden that she was on the other foot, the same story's happening. It's no longer a problem. Oh, okay, I see. Shout out to Angela and Marty, who says Cynthia Johnson stripped of her committee position. Thank you to Per Pill, who says, so ABL, we are in a civil war, but it's on the internet, virtual, cyber warfare at its best. God bless you in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you for that. They also say 100. Divine Feminine Queen says, no candidate has ever won both Florida and Ohio and lost that election. Only Sleeper Joe can pull this off. Exactly. What's going on with that? You're the incumbent. You gain, like 11 million more votes Trump did, and you get Florida, Ohio, and you lose. Impossible. The math just ain't there in Creepy Joe's favor. You mean to tell me Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama in 2008? Come on, be for real. Thank you to EP for the thumbs up emoji. Thank you to Mike Tyson II. Great name, who says America first. With the hands up heart emoji. Thank you for that. Thank you to Divine Feminine Queen, who says Democrats love criminals. They support all Hunter wrongdoings. If Trump was Democrat, he can do all wrong and be praised by them. Exactly. You know, it'd be funny if somebody ran as a Democrat and then put forward all Republican conservative principles. That'd be hilarious. Kind of like what David Clark does up in, what was that, Minnesota or Minneapolis? Like, wherever he is up there in that part of the country. Thank you to Pantifa, who says, look, sir, look down on the Google News list and how none of the mainstream media is defending Hunter. You know that ain't right. Are they sacrificing him to save others mentioned in that laptop? Oh, yeah. Sacrificial lamb all day long. Joe don't care. He'll sacrifice his own son. He don't care. Thank you to Wes, who says, before August, it was death, death, death. After August, it was cases, cases, cases. Yes. I'm glad you saw that. It's all about the cases. Oh, my cases are increasing. But they ain't talking about the deaths. I wonder what happened. How did that work? Why did the deaths all of a sudden just stop being so bad? Okay. And we know that the toll, it ain't really right. All of what you see on television is fake. Like I said before, Mama always told me, don't believe anything you see on TV. You know, and that includes the news. That includes things that they say are real. It's television. Mainstream media, all garbage. Shout out to Matthew, who says, cheers to ABL, to a good night with the beer emojis. Thank you for that. Thank you to My Tablet, who says, she's canned, but Facebook won't delete her. Talking about Cynthia Johnson, the House rep out there in Michigan. She didn't get canned totally. She just had her committee removed, her committee title stripped, I suppose. Shout out to Sonia Scrapbook, who says, thanks for the shout out. My son's a big fan. If any conservative moms want to connect with me, I'm right here on the YouTube. Yes, Sonia, who called earlier, her channel is called Sonia's Scrapbook. And I'll paste the title of her page in the comments so you guys go check it out. Terry Root says, TV is a super spreader. Exactly. TV is the super spreader. Super spreader of fear and confusion and chaos and doubt. And market runs on the market and whatnot. Shout out to Max Dominguez, who says, ABL, if you get censored on YouTube, will you go to Rumble? Yeah, I mean, I'll go to a different platform if I need to. I always keep my website. That's going to be paramount regardless of what the website. But as far as video is concerned, yeah, I'll go there. Ain't no problem. Or wherever is the best place for my videos to be. But my website, AnthonyBLogan.com, that is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. That's going to remain regardless of what goes on with what particular platform or anything else. When all the smoke clears, the website's still going to be there, period. Shout out to Charles Turner Jr., who says, ABL, love how you mentioned in the Woke Santa Claus video about the toxic masculinity. There's been enough of that. Any young men watching this, embrace masculinity and be proud. Exactly. Yeah, don't be afraid to be a boy, and don't let these crazy, ridiculous heathens out here tell you to not have your child be a boy or a girl or whatever they actually are. Okay, your boy's born a boy, let him be a boy. Your girl's born a girl, let him be a girl, period. All right. And again, thank y'all for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. Shout out to the moderator. Shout out to my wife right there, Nay Logan. Shout out to Charles Turner Jr. Shout out to Killer Sushi. Shout out to Bill from the Hills. Shout out to All you guys in the building, Zealand Zen, thank you for being here. You guys are fantastic. Zeto just came for I see you right there, boss. No overtime for me. I got to go wrap it on up, put the bow on the top. I'll be back live again on Saturday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And that's pretty much all I got. So thank y'all for being here. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Oh, one last thing. This show will be available on your favorite audio streaming platform for free. A link to all my platforms, whether it be Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, that will be in the description box. You can also just search for me on your particular audio streaming platform. Search for ABL Live. I'll pop right on up. This show will be available on Friday morning, and the Saturday show will be available on Monday morning. So that is all I got. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.